Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Frontline presented Pro Scrims. Yesterday, we had a beautiful showdown coming up. Our season number 3 was actually over, but now we are back again on the screens and we are actually coming up with Frontline Pro Scrims to be precise. A lot of beautiful teams are going to be there. My name is Rita along with me. It's Eagle on the desk, and we are going to witness 5 straight matches back to back today, and we are going to witness the carnage of Southeast Asian teams.
Well, of course, so we are going to witness some most amazing gameplays today at this afternoon. But before we start, I would like to all the audience, I will request all the audience to please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream as well. But if we talk about the yesterday events, those were totally phenomenal to watch out. And if we talk about the today's days, these are going to be pro scrims and some pro teams will join the lobby. Some pro players will join the lobby as per the scrims. But what do you think? If we talk about Team DRX Gaming, yesterday they played very much phenomenally. Today is the scrim, so I think the teams will take a lot of risk. They'll apply some more new changes as these are the scrims.
Well, indeed, these are the swims. We have to actually check out that how new strategies are going to get implemented, how these people are going to perform eventually. A lot of things are at stake. I believe price pool is not there, but then again, if we talk about the glory, if we talk about the strategies, we talk about the professionalism, everything is going to be on stake right now. But let's talk about the teams jumping in the vicinity. We have got teams like Nova, TENCENT, LGD, Esports, SMG, Bigetron, Red Aliens. Apart from that, we have EVOS, REBORN. We have got, I guess, TRS Gaming is there, Game Lord, NFT Esports, DG Esports, B&W Esports, GPX, MABETEX Esports, One Team, Kill Enemy, APG, PUBGM, YANGON, GALACTOS. Yeah, that means a lot of beautiful teams are here to represent the pro scrims. But the flight path, well, it is actually starting from the southwestern region to be precise, and it is actually going towards the southeastern region, which is quite amazing to watch out. But eventually, places like Yasnaya, Severny, or should I say, Starbar and Kameshki, Lipovka, along with that, is going to be far-fetched, and people won't be able to drop in that vicinity just by gliding. They have to get some good vehicles so that eventually they can reach up to the mark.
Well, of course, as you mentioned earlier, the flight path is very much chaotic to watch out, starting from those northwestern parts, ending toward those southeastern parts of the region. As we can see, the major drop clashes can be seen on drop locations like Novo Ripnoi, Pochinki, the heart of Erangel. If we talk about the northern Georgia city in Georgia Pool, I think the region of targeted those are the region players target each other. But there you go, team number 5 onto the another end. If we talk about the Pochinki, almost there are cluster, there are crowd in front of each of the teams. And what I believe that at those early phases they'll move very slowly, they move very much tacklingly with their mindset, with their approaches onto the another end. But if we talk about those Potato Hill regions, I think 2 or 3 teams are there as well. I don't think that is a region for drop clash, but maybe it may be a different Wires clash, it may be a different rotation clashes, vehicle clashes as well. Talking about team number 12 being team B&W. For now, the time being, they are 3 men standing with those 0 finishes point in the backpack. If we look towards team BTR, team DRS, team OG, team GPX, many more teams have joined, and there you go, 1-on-1 elimination. I don't think elimination is not an elimination, it's a knock by their players. But there you go, SMG Picket with the DP28 is moving very much phenomenally, getting to those another finishes point. Oh my goodness, that was a great support from team number 5. Team SMG is coming back to back phenomenally, and their players are getting some more finishes point. 2 finishes point in the backpack. They have secured top 16 position and are almost on those top 61 remaining alive players.
Well, Team SMG having 2 amazing finishes in the areas of Pochinki, well, definitely they are going to be quite blessed in terms of their regression. But moving up ahead, the only team which is losing some souls is going to be Team BTR as well as Team B&W with the 3-man power. That's again going to be quite troublesome. As you all can see, Luxi has been taken down, Seri has been taken down. Zaxi, another beautiful guy who can easily turn the tides a lot. But let's see how his performance is going to get converted. If I talk about Jen Foster, he is also there. Jaxis don't have the right kind of utility. He has got an M16A4, which won't help him a lot in terms of the aggression. So definitely this guy has to find out some good utilities, although he has been pretty much pinpointed. And this is a very bad stance for Team PTR. But I can already see Team SMG's Remember is already over there with that AKM trying to actually pinpoint the location of Zaxi.
Of course, they will try to pinpoint the position, but if we look towards Team BTR, they haven't got that better start which we were talking about. If we look at Jax Foster, Jaxi, Laxi, and they were 4 men standing, but they have lost those 2 players at those early phases. If we look towards Team Envy, while Jimmy, Order, Frozen, and it's a log, as we can see, 4 men standing. They're still trying to confront their loot. They're still trying to maximize their loot, get an advanced amount of loot so they can get those enemies easily into their favor. But as we look towards those timer, almost 3 to 4 minutes are over. You almost have 2 or 3 minutes more extensively to get those more your loot completed. But if we look towards another team as well, team NFT, team DRS, the winner of yesterday tournaments, I think they played very much phenomenally today. How they perform it, it's a very bigger task, bigger mode as well. But if we look towards team SMG, well, this fight is going to be quite deciding one, because the king of Pochinki, I think which team will gain that title, it's a very phenomenal task to hold out. But BTR, I think with those man disadvantage, I don't think it's very much easy for the team, because if you look at team SMG, they are 3 men standing, holding a good confidence, holding a good aggression, and the split of team BTR, I think that can cause a lot of trouble to the team.
Well, indeed. The trouble is for sure going to be there. Zaxi and Zenfoster, both of them are trying their level best to actually forecast a beautiful battle coming up. SMG being one of those amazing teams which is having a beautiful man advantage in their favor. And apart from that, if we talk about, remember, a beautiful throwable is about to get cooked up. Memory, apart from that, is also trying to rotate, and that rotation can be quite critical. Well, as you all can see, Memory is trying to create a beautiful flank, and this flank can be mesmerizing. Zaxi can be easily taken apart, but let's see how Memory is going to play with it, how he's going to perform. If I talk about Zaxi, that guy has got the M16, and believe it or not, that M16 can run much faster as the M416, because that guy, Zaxi, he holds another level of skill set in his favor. So let's see how he's going to perform. Will it be a possible like battle coming up? But there we go. Spots one, remember, is going to go down to dust for sure. The guy is going to get finished off, and now the balance of the equation is already coming up.
Well, of course, the balance is totally coming up. If you look at Team BTR, I think they're still trying to gain some more finishes one, because I don't think if you're 2 men standing, it's not like that comfortable that you'll gain those finishes point very much easily, but you have to struggle a lot. If you look at Juxi, well, having those M16A4 with that S186, it's going to be quite troubling, quite struggling. And there you go, coming with that drop shot. Memory will take down Juxi, and Jen Froster now being that solo player standing for the team. Let's see how he perform out, having those. I think it's M416 with that MP45 in his hand, and the question is that how will he attain, how will he detain a team SMG, because it's almost 1v3, is not holding a great position. Having level 1 helmet, level 1 vest will give him a lot of trouble, because if you are going for that close range, it's must need that you need a level 2 helmet, level 2 vest. But there you go with that EMP45. Jen Froster finally has taken one player down. He'll eliminate it, because he knows at this point you need to confront your finishers point. But there you go, he's not giving any position. It's again a 1v1, but finally he was not having those health kits, he was not having those first hits, due to which he got eliminated. But looking at team LGD, well, Heaven is moving very slowly, very composedly, calmly towards squad house, trying to gain some more first hits, trying to gain some more painkillers as well for his overall rotation. But if you look towards team number 7, team EVOS, well, for now they are 4 men standing with those 0 finishes point in their backpack around those very pure region, those silent region. They are inside the zone, but let's see, will they able to tackle this fight down, because in front of them it's team number 15, and both the teams are unknown to their position, both our teams are not known to their position. Let's see if this rotation clash happens, which team will get those finishes point.
Well, definitely, I believe the crashes can be actually there, but right now I believe it's a little bit too early. But would like to add on, EVOS REBORN is another beautiful team which can easily retaliate a lot of stuff and eventually take up a huge amount of fight in their favor. Micro Boy is there, Lyzerg is there, Redface is there. A lot of glory is actually here in this particular team. But when moving up ahead, if we talk about Team Game Lord, we've got Akash in the scene, we have got a place like Rob or Victor is there, and apart from that, we also have Nari aloof. But let's see how their performance is going to get contemplated, because Yasna is the region where they are trying to loot the vicinity and eventually gather some good loots. Apart from that, the only team going down to dust is going to be Team BGR RA. Well, of course, we thought that a lot of performance is going to be there from the corner, but eventually they were unable to just, let's say, get those beautiful frags in their favor. Yes, of course, they did a beautiful part in actually taking up 2 frags. I mean, that's what I guess Team BTR is known for. But then again, when it comes to the survival, I believe in this particular matchup, those early losses were something which was not at all, let's say, blessing in disguise for them. But moving ahead, if we talk about team number 18, Yangon GALACTOS, another beautiful team coming close to Pochinki. They might be in a tussle really soon.
Well, of course, they're coming close to Pochinki. There must be a rotation clash, another fights as well. But if we look towards team number 18, they haven't ensured any fight yet. Moving towards those vehicles, moving towards trying to get some more vehicles, trying to get some more utilities as well. But if we look towards Pochinki, I think for the time being, it's looking very silent, very calm, because there were almost 4 to 5 teams in Pochinki at those drop clashes, at those early phases of the region when we faced drop clashes. But after that, I think teams remained calm and composed when the elimination took place. But there you go, the winner team of yesterday, well, they have secured a very beautiful position with those 178 points in their favor. Team DRS. Till now, they haven't secured any finish points, still moving with that basic approach. But if we look towards the zone formation, well, zone is totally shifted towards those southwestern parts of the region. If we look towards those central part, I think already center is acquired around those quarry region by some team. But onto the other end, if we look towards those Rozok farm region, teams are still coming with those late rotation. I think that can harm them a lot, because if we look at those quarry Primorsk region, those hospital region is totally vacant, and the rotation from those region, northern rotation, southern rotation can be very much easy as compared to the eastern region, because we could face a lot of struggle, a lot of chaos, a lot of rotation clashes. I think it's maybe a chance that some team could be eliminated in the first zone rotation clash itself.
Well, definitely the clash is going to be quite an amazing one. 15 teams, 57 players are remaining for now. We have got another beautiful team trying to rotate. That's going to be DG Esports, pretty much close to the military base, let's say, compound. So the military base bridge compound, to be precise, the 6 houses are actually here. If I talk about trial, he's just refueling his vehicle so that he can actually perform. Trial 1 is there, trial 3 is there. We have got Voker, I guess, in the scene. Flyboy is also surviving, but Team SMG, they are looking sharp with 4 amazing tags. But although they're losing some good players right now, moving up ahead, let's talk about the team known as Team GRS. In the frontline showdown, they showcase their strength. They are the champion of the frontline showdown, but now it comes to the pro scrims. Let's see how their proness is going to be prone right now. Rules OG gets spotted. Fortunately, he's going to get taken down. That's a sad sight to watch. And now Flyboy, with an amazing takedown, is easily going to get those frags in his favor. But apart from that, I believe Team GRS is here to take the revenge, avenge the death of their teammate. Although the teammate is actually knocked out, but I don't know will he be able to survive or not. That is actually going to be a very big question. But Flyboy, with those amazing sneaky shots, manages to actually create a huge amount of ruckus in the lobby. But now moving up ahead, I believe Killer Whitey is for sure going to be at a loss. But apart from that, the other guys like Killer Whitey and Gante, and I believe Delta is also there in the back end. So these are 3 guys which can easily perform exceptionally well. But now the team is actually getting scattered quite a bit. Let's see how their performance is going to get contemplated, because if I talk about Team DG Esports, 1-5 for them is already on the way. Killer Whitey tries to escape from the scenario. You can already see a lot of shot has been exchanged. He is not living up to the mark. His HP is very low. He has to actually slam on those sugar houses. Apart from that, situation might not actually be in the favor. But if I talk about the team known as Nova TENCENT, Order, Jimmy, Frozen, and apart from that, King is there. Remember, guys, this is one of those teams which won't be able to, let's say, retaliate at the intensity you want to see, because this is another unbeatable team. But now King gets attacked quite a bit. He's going to repatch himself so that he can bring back the glory of his team known as Nova TENCENT back in the game.
Of course, each and every team wants their glory to be maintained, but if we look towards Team Nova, well, they are a little bit down the ground and not having that advantage in this fight particularly. Immensely, if we look at another team, they're having a little bit of height advantages, little bit of those diagonal angles which we talk about. But down the ground, I think the Nova players can give a lot of better cover fire, because the split is quite different, quite phenomenal to watch it. But onto the other end, if we look towards Emoji, they're still trying their level best to get them some more finishes point. For now, 1 finish point in their favor. Almost 15 teams, 56 remaining players are still there. If we look towards team number 17, they're still not looking that great. Team number 17 is struggling a bit, because not having a great position in this favor in this fight, I think can give a lot of trouble to the teams as well. But Team APG, I think grenades and throwables can make a difference, and there you go. If we talk about Voker, that grenade, that throwables is making a difference, making a change here in this fight, and I think it can go in favor of Team OG as well. And there you go, finally a flank from left hand side, it's making a difference. And team number 17, they're looking in danger. And finally, Anchor PUBG Pride, I think they could be eliminated in this fight if team number 11, if Team OG goes with the same confidence and same aggression. There you go, with the TMP45, Voker is closing on the last player. No, it's the second last player, because the last player is inside those compounds, and it's a 1v4 scenario for him. Let's see, will Joseph, if I'm not on Joseph Pro, is that last player, will he able to take the other 3 players down of Team OG, because it's a very difficult task right now. If we look at the position, I think 1v3 closing in with those EMP45 and those M4 section is not particularly possible here. Immensely, he has to do some extra phenomenal outstanding work.
Indeed, the job has to be done, the performance has to be actually covered up. But right now, moving up ahead, if we talk about Joseph Pro, goes in for the jump shot, fails to connect anybody. But moving up ahead, okay, from the back foot, Flyboy was the guy close to, let's say, 300-meter elimination is there. And just like that, one more team is down to the grave, and that's going to be Team Encore PUBG Pride. Well, again, the team has been taken down. Apart from that, if we talk about one team, a nade has been cooked up. The throwable can be very implicating. Well, of course, the throwable went down, but eventually the connection was not founded. But apart from that, another 1v1 came in just like that. Team 13 GPX, to be precise, is actually getting their hopes diminished because now the third pack is already about to be here. Last man standing from Team GPX could be here and there, surviving a little bit more. But Team Nova, Tencent's Order 2 has been taken down. That's it to watch. Team Nova has to retaliate. Let's see. Well, of course, King actually managed to put one down from Team YG. That means Yangon Galactus is already getting connected. But King also gets taken down from Hornet with a beautiful Mosin Nagar shot. But now Jimmy and the other guy that's going to be frozen has to retaliate, has to gain some good points. Will it be a possible stance? Will we have to actually check for that? But apart from that, if we talk about Team YG, yeah, that means Yangon Collectors. They are completely trying to push forward. We've got WT17 in the scene, trying to push forward, trying to attack, trying to attain some good points. But one team managed to put down GPX, and that's another beautiful elimination coming up.
Well, that will be a good elimination from this side. But if we look towards the team Nova, I think they're looking strong enough. They're coming back in the match with the same intensity. But looking at those alive status, I think team DG, if I'm not wrong, they have secured 5 overall points till now, and I think they are the table toppers for the current time. But if we look at team number 18, they're not looking so great. And there you go, team SMG is in trouble. The last player standing for the team, it's Memory, and let's see how fast the Memory is, because I don't think it's not gonna be easy for the player, because a rotating vehicle like this can cause you a lot of trouble. He's trying to fall back, disengage the fight. Will he be able to successful? No, it's gonna great spray from team DG, and they have finally secured the target of 7 finishes point according to their favor. But if we look towards the zone, I think zone shrink will be more crucial to work out. If we look towards Marnet, having those AKM with that sniper, it will make a great difference. And there comes a phenomenal spray with that AKM. Will able to take him down on those running vehicle shots was beautiful, but I don't think it will be that easy. But if we talk about zone formation, there comes the zone formation towards those western parts of the region. The zone is totally biased, shifted towards those western parts of the region. But if we look towards the other teams and other players, if we look towards the rotations of players, most of the players, most of the teams, most of the crowds is looking towards the eastern part of the region. Marlins has taken one player down, but another player has come. Instant support from the enemies. But if we look towards those vehicle crushes, I think that can change the game. And looking towards team number 18, it's a YGW17 moving forward to get those finishes point in their favor. One grenade, and there you go. The grenade and the throwables can make a change and can make a difference. And there comes a grenade. Will it make a change? And there you go. One grenade, 2 players are down, and finally is coming with that phenomenal pick. But there comes a touch from the vehicle. Team number 18 not looking so good. If we talk about Sando, he's been that solo time. It's a 1v1 scenario to win this fight. Team number 11 down the ground. If we talk about team DG, I think they're in a great position right now, but not looking so great behind the scenes. But those artificial cover of smoke can change the difference. But there Sando goes in with those M416 in his hand, and being surviving on that 1 HP, he'll finally take that pick and get those pick in his favor.
Indeed, a lot of beautiful eliminations were there, no doubt in that. But moving ahead, if we talk about the Rampage, well, it's coming from Trial 01 for now. Well, definitely his trial is actually becoming a successful stance for him. But moving ahead, if we talk about another beautiful team, that's going to be team number 10, which is known as NFT Esports. Well, they are getting connected quite a bit. Another beautiful need is about to get hooked up. Vector is being summoned, but the sprays from Vector is going to be unstoppable from the back foot. A lot of damage is already coming up. The kills have been stolen from LGD's corner. That's interesting. Our team gets a knock, another one steals a finish. This is how the consistency is going on. More and more throwables have been used up. As you all can see, a lot of throwables are being planted. I believe it's a mini red zone being created, but again, some more throwables being cooked up. Let's see how the throwables are going to work up to the charm. Eventually, the impact is going to be there or not. That is something which is going to be crucial. But there we go. Kaboom! The nade goes on. Oh, from the back foot, and the guy came in. Game Lord has been taken down at #10. Only 2 eliminations from the corner. That means a total of 3 points is coming from there. And but moving up ahead, if we talk about more and more teams, well, I would like to see NFT Esports performing more. But there we go. NFT also gets taken down. Probably MABETEX corner. MABETEX, another sneaky team which loves to actually survive a bit. And on the meanwhile, they also love to actually attain some good points. But there we go. Jimmy also gets connected quite a bit. His Urus is not looking that great. LGD Esports might be able to actually take the chunk out of this particular fight. But now moving up ahead, Team Nova TENCENT. Well, this is the only team which is having the 4-man power, I believe. Apart from that, one team is there with the 4-man power. LGD even is there. And even EVOS REBORN is also there with the 4-man power. So definitely a huge impact might be coming anytime soon from Team Nova as TENCENT, and the other 4 team which are having the 4-man power can actually come back with some good shots. The only 2 teams which are not actually at a greater side is going to be DRS and YANGON Galactos, because those are the 2 teams which have got only 2 players surviving the lobby. The only 2 ray of sunshine of this particular team is going to be there. But let's see how Team DRS is, of course, going to come back in the fight, because we have seen teams like DRS coming back and forth in the points table. But apart from that, order gets connected. Well, there we go. Once again, some sneaky shots are there. But now I believe the team known as Nova TENCENT is going to take up a fight with team known as LG Esports. They're already at a loss, as you all can see already. The damage is coming up. If we talk about Frozen, goes in. Some nades, some throwables have been cooked up. Another nade is actually being summoned, as you all can see with the nades. Well, Frozen, if you go out, the molly is for sure going to get connected. Well, there we go. The nade goes in. Splash damages were there. Definitely not enough to put the enemy apart from the situation. But there we go. Another 1v1 coming up. That was a smooth sneaky assist kind of pressure being developed, but eventually Frozen still fails to connect any kind of shot. The molly is there. Oh, it's a 1v2. What was that amazing sounds coming
Beautiful.
up? Noah Frozen, what an amazing gun game coming from his corner. And that is why we call Noah TENCENT a team which is unbeatable, which is unforgivable. Well, Order and King, both of them were taken down, but still, if we talk about Jimmy and Frozen, what a coordination from these guys' corner. He was in the container having only 10 HP, but still he retaliated with that intensity. Although I'm actually looking forward to see what Nova is going to do right now, because Order is down to dust, King is down to dust. The only two guys which are remaining are going to be Jimmy and Frozen.
Well, of course, they will be the last two players standing. If we look towards Jimmy and Frozen are the last two players standing for the team. Let's see how they perform out. But the performance which they have given till now, that was totally fantastic to watch out. 6 teams, 18 players are surviving. 19 to 20 minutes is almost over. We are entering toward the last phase of the match. And if we look towards team number 15, I think they are playing phenomenally. They are holding a great position in their hand. If we look towards team EVOS, well, it's team number 7, and they're moving very slowly, having those man advantage in their favor. If we look at teams acquiring those finishers point are not with those man advantage yet, but the teams not having those finishers point are totally with their 4-man strong advantage. This is a difference when you take fight at those early stages. You lose some players, you gain some players, but you lose some, you gain some. These things happen, but the teams are gaining those finishers point with those man advantage in their favor. I think they get the better level of performance, a better level of competition in the game as well. Looking towards Team EVOS, well, they are still trying to gain some more finishes point, having Info 16 with that 4S in their hand. It's a great combination to watch out, and the close range weapon, it's obviously the lethal weapon. 7.6 with the bullets of 7.6 to its AKM in their hand. Talking about Volley, well, the backbone of Team MAB, he'll take down Nova Jimmy onto the another end, and that will be a great fight to watch out. Will Team Nova able to survive here? Because Frozen now being that solo player standing, there comes a great hold. Baron will take it down Volley, and it's Hershey, if I'm not wrong. They are the last two players standing. Looking towards Team 7, they are not looking so great, because they can be trouble for Team number 4, because Team number 4 needs to come inside the zone, and Team number 7 is totally blocked the area of zone, creating those gatekeeping scenarios. I think Team number 4 is totally looking in trouble. Getting inside zone is not getting so easy. And if we look towards red phase, having grenades, will that grenade make any connection? Will it go on point? This is also a question. Well, he's trying his level best to make those connection, make those preferences, but almost 9 seconds left. The countdown start for the next zone shrink in. Team number 4 heal battle, I think, is the only option. I don't think it's going to be the great easy, because you need to come upstream, and it's very much difficult for team number 7 to get team number 4 to get inside the zone.
Oh man, the throwables, the sprays that are coming from EVOS REBORN is absolutely unbeatable at this moment. LGD Esports, well, they are in a tussle. They are in a very tough fight right now, moving up. Let's see how they're going to build those points. As the guy gets spotted, that's going to be Arshigan taken down. A beautiful spray being delivered from red phase. This guy is just unbeatable, unstoppable for the moment. They are not going to let it go that easily. And there we go. LGD Esports already taking a bye from this particular lobby, and just like that, LGD Esports is at a loss. Apart from that, Wally also gets connected. Man, oh man, red phase being the MVP in this particular fight. What an amazing gun game coming from this particular guy's corner. He's not stopping for an instance. He's constantly trying to rig the vehicle, constantly trying to build some good points. But from the backcourt, we have to remember as well, and another beautiful team with the 4-man power, that's going to be Team 1 team. That is another beautiful team which can easily create a troublesome situation for them as well. So yeah, definitely let's check it out, how the gun game is going to get established. If I talk about Baron, constantly trying his level best to reach out to Hershey, his teammate, and there we go. The revival is about to be here, no doubt on that. But apart from that, if I talk about Team 1 Esports, 1 team to be precise, well, they are also going to get connected. Some throwables being exchanged. The people are trying to take the flows apart. But as you all can see, 1 team has to travel to the zone, and that is something which is going to be quite critical for them. People already are trying their level best to travel to the zone, but eventually one of them have been picked out. The other one is already knocked out, and the 3rd and 4th one are just trying to retaliate the best they can actually. But Chengfu gets taken down with a beautiful nade. I believe Team EVOS Microbuy and the other guys are actually in a tough cell. But there we go. Shark also gets taken down. Shark is actually being the hunted. That means the predators are getting predated. Predators are becoming the prey, and the people are just trying to pick them apart. And the team which is actually going to be on top is going to be Team EVOS REBORN. What an amazing coordination. What an amazing retaliation coming from these particular teams. I'm just loving the way they are actually being very concise in their fights. And there we go. Hong, the last man standing, well, he has also been taken down, and with this, we are remaining with only 3 teams surviving in the lobby.
Of course, only 3 teams or 7 players are still surviving in the lobby. If we talk about Team EVOS and as well as Team MAB and Team DR as well, this team is totally proving their worth. Getting those whenever a chicken dinner, getting those top 2, top 3 position regularly with those consistence, I think hats off to their performance. But right now, Team DRS have lost their players, haven't secured any finish point yet. If you see Raider, they have only 0 finishes point. 0 finishes point is not so good because you need to get at least 1, 2, 3 finishes point to maintain a hold to get a great start in the pro scrims, get a great start in the scrims. But looking at Team MAB, well, they are also 2 men standing with 5 finishes point in their favor. If you look towards team number 7, well, there comes Team EVOS looking very much strong. Having those 3 men strong advantage will give them a lot of boost, lot of confidence in their favor, in the teams, in the players as well. But there you go, Boran has been spotted. Some overconfidence, some overcommitment in front of players, in front of their enemies, can cause them a lot of trouble, can cause them a lot of difficulties. If we look towards Harshi, he's being that solo player standing with those 5 finishes point in the favor. Top 3 teams, top 6 alive players. 25 minutes is almost over. And Harshi, well, he'll still try to create those smoke artificial cover to create some Molotov path. And there comes the shot. M416 with that red dot. He comes with that amazing sprays. He'll still try to take another player down, but doesn't. It's not going to be that easy. And if we look towards Microboy, well, Microboy has targeted DRS Delta. It's a 1v2 scenario. Will DRS Delta is able to get those 1v2 clutches right now on point, on targeted, because having MP45 and M416, I think it's a good combination to watch out. Level 2 and level 2 West as is there, and there comes a jump shot, and Team DRS will lose this fight, and they will also lose the chicken dinner.
Well, indeed, a beautiful fight, a beautiful retaliation fire, no doubt on that. A beautiful coordination was done and dusted, but right now, a beautiful chicken dinner comes in the hands of a team known as Team, I believe, EVOS REBORN. Quite a beautiful performance coming from the corner. The way they retaliated, the way they perform was exceptionally well, to be precise. But would like to add on teams like MABETEX also perform quite well. LGD Esports also tried their level best to gain a beautiful position in the leaderboard, but then again, they were retaliated, they were taken on Quest 50, and that's how the game actually went out from the hands. But another beautiful team which actually tried to retaliate was, I believe, somewhere around, I guess, BTR also started off quite well. SMG Esports actually was able to dominate the Pochinki region, but then after that, in terms of the rotation, I believe somewhere around the rotation got off guard.
Of course, the rotation got a lot of clusterized for the teams and the players as well. But looking onto the first game, I'm very surprised with Team DR's performance, because were they trying something new or were they trying something different in the scrims? Because what we have seen in the earlier phases, they have performed very much phenomenally. But moving towards the highlights, this was the region of Pochinki. From where the game started, Team SMG were very much phenomenal, getting those early finishes point very much rightly into their favor was much needed into their teams. And looking towards Team BTR, I think they lost 2 players at those early phases. Jaxi got eliminated at those early phases, and each and everything was totally on the hands of Jen Foster.
Yeah, indeed. And Jen Foster tried his level best to attain some 2 amazing points, but after that, overall, he was also picked up. Apart from that, if I talk about teams like DG, they also tried their level well to be exceptionally well in terms of their performance, but they failed to connect those amazing shots. Apart from that, young code PUBG Pride was also taken down quite swiftly from their angle. The last man standing, that was Joseph Pro, I believe, who actually tried his level best to retaliate. He jumped from the building. He was actually trying his level best to catch the team off guard, but he failed to do so. Flyboy from the other corner with that Mini 14 to be precise was able to just take them apart. But if I talk about Team GPX, the way they fall down in that Peripheral region was absolutely tremendous. Zykor was the last man standing, I guess, and that was also the guy who was taken down quite swiftly. But when it came to Team SMG, well, look at that. They slightly drove into the path of the enemy, and just like that was taken down. If I talk about Memory One, he was also picked up by Team DG Esports. No doubt, Team DG Esports did a beautiful job of actually having some good points. But when it came to Nova Tencent, well, that's another beautiful team which you don't want to fight with.
Of course, I think the teams having those man advantage, no teams will try to get those early phases fight with the teams who have having great confidence, great man advantage. But if we look towards team number 9, they were looking very smart enough, they were looking very great enough, but those early extra confidence, extra overcommitment caused them a lot of trouble. And if we talk about Team Nova, well, this was amazing gameplay by Frozen. This was amazing pick. He was barely surviving on those few HP, and the opponent were having that man advantage. And there comes a phenomenal 1v2 clutch, which was totally unexpected, which was totally fantastic. And Team EVOS, well, hats off to this team as well. They totally secured the position inside the zone. They totally maintained their position. They defended their position very much nicely, but onto the other end, they also maintained the finisher's point target as well.
Well, indeed, definitely, I believe the performance was quite on point, no doubt on that. But when it came to actually as a micro boy, he tried his level best to attain some good points, and he delivered the results as well. We saw that how the coordination can actually turn up in their favor. But when it came to Delta, well, look at those pros coming up. Delta was also be able to, let's say, be on point. Apart from that, when it came to Hershey, he also tried his level best to do that 1v1 in his favor. But Hershey was taken on quite swiftly, and just like that, the battle transformed in a 2v1 situation, and Delta finally was taken down with a beautiful jump shot, and just like that, the game went out of the equation when it comes to the chicken dinner. That was EVO's REBORN with the rank number 1, 10 eliminations, and a total points was 25. And look at the damage coming up, it's close to 2000, which was absolutely mesmerizing. Red Face for sure being the MVP, because the amount of damage, the amount of knockouts that he actually forecasted, and the kills was absolutely amazing. To be precise, 4 eliminations, damage of 953, MVP points is going to be 5.18%. Apart from that, team contribution is actually going to be 40% for the team, and the longest elimination that this guy actually took was 127 meter.
Of course, the longest elimination was of 127 meter, and this he will be the most valuable player. He was ex Red Face finally, but match 3, day 3, match 12. But overall statistics, a total 58 eliminations were done. If we talk about throwables used, it was almost 173. If we talk about total rescues, and 17 rescues were done, total healing 7282, which is very great. Only one airdrop, 10 headshots were taken, and overall knocks were 57.
Indeed, indeed. The amount of knockouts, the amount of carnages, the amount of throwables being used was absolutely amazing. I would like to actually add on that 173 needs were being used. One airdrop was looted, 10 headshots were implanted, and eventually 17 times the person was actually retaliated and eventually revved out in the game. But when it came to the longest elimination, it was Team YANGON Galactos, I believe, were the 221 meters of the longest elimination in their favor. But now moving ahead, when it comes to the match summary, Pro Scrims is there, day number 1, match number is there. And remember, guys, 4 more matches to go. And after that, you are going to see which team is going to be on top in the scrims. But before that, let's talk about the highest elimination. Well, it is in the hands of DG Esports. Trial 01 with 5 eliminations. And if I talk about the damage, well, that's going to be 953. And it is coming from Red Face's corner. DG's Walker was the another beautiful guy with highest amount of assists, to be precise. Apart from that, when it came to the knockouts, look at that. 6 knockouts were actually delivered from Red Face, and that's beautiful. But another guy from Team YANGON Galactus, that's going to be Romeo Boy to be precise. He was the one with the longest elimination of 221 meter.
Of course, the longest elimination was of 221 meter. But if we talk about the match rankings, 15 place points, 10 elimination, and overall 25 points have been secured by REBORN. If we talk about MAB Esports, they have secured total 16. DRS Gaming 13 points, which is totally phenomenal. One team 13 points. Nova TENCENT 11, DG Esports 10, LGD Esports 8 with the 7th position. 8th position is secured by YANGON GALACTOS 5 overall points, and FT Esports 5 points, 9th position. And similarly, the teams are coming up with 4, 4, 3, 2 at those 10th, 11th, and 12th position. This will be the overall match rankings. But if we talk about the elimination and damage statistics, well, EVOS, this team has totally played phenomenally. 10 finishes point, 19 with a damage of 1967. And if we talk about Team MAB, well, they are at those second position, but overall damage and elimination statistics, Team DG is coming second with those 9 finishes point and a damage of 1639 in their favor.
Definitely a beautiful job done and dusted. But moving ahead, when it comes to the map rotations of Frontline Pro Scrims, as you can see, match number 2 is going to be the map of Miramar. A little bit of a recap is also there. That Erangel was the map where EVOS won, went out and came out with the flying colors with 25 amazing points in their favor, which was quite mesmerizing. But now it all comes to the map of Miramar, and then again it will be Erangel. Then again Miramar will be delivered, and after that, if I talk about the last match for the day, it is going to be in the vicinity of Erangel. So definitely a huge competition, a huge amount of, let's say, ruckus is going to be there. We thought that in this particular matchup, We would love to see teams like BTR, RA trying to perform or Nova Tencent would have performed, but eventually they were unable to. Nova Tencent, although actually did a beautiful job of actually acquiring 7 packs or somewhat like that, but when it came to Bigetron RA, well, their performance went out quite swiftly. They were actually taken down quite early with only 2 frags. They went out quite early from the hands of Team SMG. But now I believe Miramar is another beautiful map where teams like Nova Tencent or even DRS can perform exceptionally well. Apart from that, I would like to add on Team Bigetron RA can actually perform quite well. Now moving up ahead, guys, we are going to take a short break until the next one starts. So make sure to actually stay tuned and eventually like the stream, guys, so that we can bring back these kind of things for you. Yesterday, $1,500 of a prize pool of a tournament already went out, and now we are back again with the Pro Scrims. So obviously, guys, we are here with a lot of content for you guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe the channel. As we said, guys, a short break, and we are back with the short break of 2-3 minutes. But again, we are going to witness the carnage coming up in this Frontline Swiss presented Pro Scrims to be precise, and again, it's going to be quite an amazing one. First match was in the hands of EVOS REBORN. Now it's going to be another beautiful matchup of these 18 teams trying to fight, trying to take a tussle. But the map, the playground, the battle arena is going to be a little bit different, and that's the map of Miramar. The Golden Sands is actually going to be there, and a lot of bridges, a lot of third parties, and rotational classes as well are going to be there. But my name is Raider. Along with me, it's Eagle on the disc, and we are going to witness the carnage coming up in the map of Miramar very soon.
Well, of course, the map of Miramar is full of those height advantage, those height disadvantage, ridges, dips, and if we talk about these rifles, well, sniper rifles, bolt action rifles, as well as if we talk about the rotation, radar rotation could be more difficult as well because as we know, the rotation is very much slow. The match goes on a very much slow phase, a slow pace as well. And if we talk about the vehicles, I think vehicles play a vital role. If you don't have a vehicle, you can't travel for a longer time. You can't survive for a longer time in the map. So let's see how will the team come. What will be the strategy? What will be the momentums in the upcoming matches?
Definitely, a lot of new strategies are going to get implemented because this is just the scrim. This is not a basic Naruto tournament to be precise. So definitely, a lot of chaos is going to be there in this particular matchup. But as you all can see, the flight path is already here. It is getting summoned. And if we talk about the flight path, well, it is starting from the regions of, let's say, Puerto Paraiso, I believe. Well, we have to check out the flight path once again. Let's see what happens eventually. Okay, the flight path is starting from Torre Amora.
Of course, the flight path will start from those northwestern parts of the region and end towards those southeastern parts of the region. Is going to be a great flight path to watch out. Let's see how will the teams and players perform out. It's a diagonal flight path cutting the map into ratio of 30 into 70%. And if we talk about the major drop clashes according to the flight path, San Martin, Los Leones, Pecado, Impala, Torre Ajudo, as well as El Hazar, La Cobra. These are the regions to watch out where we can see some major drop clashes on these drop location. But if we talk about the silent drop locations according to the fly path, it's El Pozo, Montenuevo, Chumaquera, Ladrilla. These are the silent regions. If you see, radar teams will barely take a chance to go there. But if they go there, and if the zone doesn't forms there, it will be very traveling very much disgusting for the teams as well.
Well, indeed, the kind of performance that we are expecting right now is going to be quite carnageous right now moving upward. If we talk about the persons like, let's say, areas like EVOS, REBORN, which are jumping in the Impala region, they can be quite chaotic. If we talk about being BTRRA, they are also coming up with some good fights. And when it comes to, let's say, areas like La Cobrilla, they are also attacking and getting some good points in their favor as well. Los Leones, another beautiful area which is coming up. Well, UTG is also jumping in the areas of Los Leones, which is quite mesmerizing when it comes to Team GG Esports. DG Esports to be precise, they are also falling back in the southern corners. But San Martin, that could be the area where fights might actually arise.
Of course, so San Martin are the areas where fight could actually arise. But looking towards team number 13, oh my goodness, he's barely surviving on any HP in his hand, and there comes a drop shot. I'm sorry, there comes a jump shot, and finally with that jump shot, team number 13, first player will get eliminated. But if we look at the zone, the total players, the total crowd, the total cluster is only looking on those eastern parts of the particular zone. But looking towards team number 13, they have lost their first player, the first blood of this match, and 16 teams, 62 players, a custom pack, customized lobby. And if we talk about Bigetron, well, he has finally taken BTR Juxi onto the other end. Pecado is that region to watch out. And the heart of Miramar, we can see multiple fights here, and the most chaotic, the most entertaining fight will be in Pecado because team BTR is totally here to challenge team SMG. And if we look at the lobby, if we look at the teams, these are the most two aggressive lineup who involves to, who requires to take fight, who enjoy taking fight, who enjoy aggression as their favor, as their natural gameplay. But looking at these teams, Juxi is taken down. Will the revival of Juxi be possible? This is also a question because elimination of one player at those early phases of team BTR, I think this will be very challenging for the team.
Well, indeed, the chaos is going to be there for sure. If we talk about Team BTR after losing Jaxi, once again, the kind of domination, the kind of, let's say, synergy that we were expecting is not going to be there. Apart from that, when it comes to Luxi, Jaxi, and Jen Foster, apart from that misery, well, these are the four members which can easily dominate a lot. But let's see how their performance is going to get convoluted. How many points they are actually going to build together in their favor is something which is going to be quite crucial. But Baron on the other corner from Team MABETEX have already been taken down. Hershey, Leo, and Wally are trying their level best to desperately just go ahead for the revival. But I don't think so. It's going to be a feasible enough task because Leo, well, it's a little bit actually a scattered angle for him. But team number 12 can easily catch up to them and eventually take them apart. So yeah, that's something which they have to actually be worried about. But let's see how they're going to dominate and gain the points in their favor. There we go, another beautiful spray comes in. Team BMW is already getting connected, but still fails to actually dominate at the intensity. Leo, Wally, and Hershey, 3-4 members, constantly trying their level best to tag out, but from this particular area of, I believe, Torre Amura, they have to actually just fall back so that they can retaliate and eventually survive a bit more.
Well, of course, they have to just evaluate and survive a bit more. But talking about team number 16, I think they are looking great in a good position. Talking about the team number 12. They are having a good height advantage. They are a good start. But looking towards team number MAB, last match was not good for the team. If we talk about team MAB, they were almost surviving on those top 8 teams, top 7 teams. But now team number 12 is not looking so great. Talking about team number 14, they're also moving very much phenomenally, having height advantages. This is going to be a quite troubling scenario, troubling fight for the team. And there comes AKM with that iron sight, will be able to take some initial sprays, swinging towards Carl with that 4x. He's giving that damage, getting inside the cover, and there comes the first opening pick from Leo. But that not easy, Leo, because there comes a backstab and the flank by the upcoming team, by team number 12. I think that was totally phenomenal to watch. Our team BNW, I think it's that team performing very much nicely, but team MEB is that last player Harushi looking in very much trouble. Will he give us support? And I think the split has caused a lot of trouble to the MEB because they were in a very big split. They were in a very big tackling scenario, and you can't give a support when the distance being the factor. You can't come so faster on those on foot scenarios. But let's see how will team MEB come back. It's all on Harshi's shoulder.
So this guy wants to retaliate, and there we go. He goes in for a beautiful 1v1 coming up, and he was able to retaliate and gain the points. But apart from that, from the other corner, that Striper also trying to retaliate, and there we go. The comeback and the, I guess, let's say, cavalry is already arriving. The shots are being exchanged, and just like that, the fight is pretty much over. BNW gets 4 amazing finishes, and the first team to get ever eliminated in this particular matchup, it's going to be the team known as Team BNW. Now, moving up ahead, if I talk about Team SMG, once again, they are trying to be in a tussle with Team BTR. They were able to actually gain 1 frag from Team BTR, and that's Duxy who is going to go down. But Team GPX, another beautiful team, which is still getting connected quite a bit. Team LGD Esports gains first finish, and I believe 2 good members from their particular team already been taken down. But if we talk about the last man standing from Team GPX, well, he's totally going to just, I believe, a fallback, or is he going to be coming, like, let's say, trying to aggress in the fight? So let's check it out. But moving up ahead, well, there we go. I believe Lynx is actually trying to move forward, and that can be quite critical for them. YGYGHJ. I believe the name is a little bit confusing for this guy, but SMG Pickpit gets taken down. On the other corner, Team BTR's Jen Foster was also taken down by the Remember the guy. That's interesting. Misery also gets taken down. Beautiful. That means we are about to see the carnage coming up from Team BTR, but BTR is unable to perform the way we wanted to see. And finally, once again, BTR RA is taken down. That's a sad sight to watch. Eventually, BTR RA, that's a team which actually contains a huge legacy. That's a team which actually represents themselves in BMGC as well. But now moving up ahead, the way they are performing, I believe that's not up to the mark, because teams like SMG are easily convoluting, and back-to-back in 2 straight matches, SMG is able to do a beautiful 4v4.
Of course, they're performing a great hold from their side. If you look towards Team SMG, eliminating Team BTR at those early phases, and eventually it was Picardo, the great drop location, the great rivalry, the many rivalries we have seen in Picardo, and at those region when you fight for those early phases of the times and you won, you gain a great confidence, you get a great upstandings as well. But looking towards Team Nova, well, they are 4 men standing. They haven't secured any finish point yet. Still moving with that slow and steady approach, having those 7 minutes or completing those 7 to 8 minutes in the game. I think you have 1 or 2 minutes more left out, Raider, to complete your loot, to complete your advanced level loot, each and everything. After that, you need to get ready for the zone formation. After that, you need to get ready to get inside the zone. But looking at Jimmy, well, it's a day he is having a decent loot. SKS with that M762, a great combination of close range and a mid-range, long-range weapon. Let's see how many scopes, what are the upstandings, what are the defense system Team Nova will hold, because level 2 helmet, level 2 vest will work a lot. But if you get level 3, I think that will be complete of a loot customization.
Indeed, they have to actually loot up some good loots, and eventually Nova TENCENT will be able to retaliate and stuff like that. And eventually, if we talk about Team DRS, well, there we go. DRS is already going on, and a team known as Godlord, and they are trying to perform exceptionally well, no doubt in that. If we talk about Order, this guy is actually going for a parkour. He wants to actually see what he can do with that jumping skills of his own, but Trial02 gets taken down with the vehicle blow. I believe he jumped out of his own vehicle and gets taken down, gets knocked out to be precise, but Revival might come in or not. That's something we have to actually witness. DRS, if I talk about this team, after having one amazing finish in their favor, they are trying to chase out the other guys, which might actually be lurking in the shadows, but there is nobody close to them, so definitely not a frag. Not even a single casualty will be getting built in that vicinity. But apart from that, team number 17 coming up in the close quarters, this can be definitely chaotic. And the team which is known as APG, Encore PUBG Prime to be precise, is coming up in the close quarters. As you can see, Delta comes up with some good shots. The second play zone is about to be here anytime soon, and I'm actually excited to see where the zone actually might go and how the fights in that particular play zone is going to get convoluted. But Killer YT coming a little bit close to Astrox. Let's see what eventually happens, and will there be a possibility of actually diminishing the fight in their favor or not? That's something which is going to be quite crucial. Remember, guys, this is Frontline Pro Scrims. This is match number 2. The map is Miramar for you guys. And in the first one, it was EVOS reborn with 25 amazing points in their favor. Got the beautiful chicken dinner. But in this one, already the teams are getting shattered. If I talk about teams like BTR, GPX, and along with MABETEX, these are the 3 teams already down to dust.
Of course, these are the two teams who are already down. But talking about this fight, Team APJ was not strong enough in the last match, but they are coming back very strong in this match. That grenade of Ziope will take down Delta, the first opening knock. I think which was required to initiate this fight, which was required to control this fight into Team APG favor. I think that has totally started, and Team APG is moving very much strongly, very much hardly, as we can see. The confidence is totally looking onto their movements. But there you go, Kilobyte is trying to fall back, and there comes the vehicle tire has been totally burst out, and I don't think Kilobyte can survive for a longer period of time. And there comes a phenomenal spray by APG Sky, and then Kilobyte has been taken down onto the other end. Astro will take down Delta X and eliminate him from the lobby, but Gyante, the backbone of this team, I think he is the entry of the last player. The entry of the backbone is still left out, and here comes Gyante. This is a 1v1 scenario. If he takes this player down, I think Team DRS can survive. But if Team APG continues with that same progression, continues with that same confidence, I think then it's going to be quite difficult. It's a 1v2 scenario, but there comes a phenomenal spray. Gyante has been taken down. Team DRS is looking in danger. Rals OG now being that solo player standing for his team. Let's see what he'll do. Will he able to clutch it out, because it's almost like a 1v4 and you are the last player. But APG Astro, he'll come here. Team number 12, well, they are also looking in a very big trouble, and one by one team number 12 players will also get dissipated.
Everybody is getting picked up from the hands of a team on core PUBG. The way this team is performing is absolutely mesmerizing. But when it comes to the carnage, well, definitely, I believe Team DRS is one of those teams which can easily turn the tides. But right now, Kilobyte has already been taken on. I don't think so that the guy has the revival stance in his favor. But when it comes to Rule Sochi, let's see how he's going to perform exceptionally well. He's the only ray of sunshine for the team. He might be surviving it really soon, but let's see how his survival is going to get convoluted, because I believe Encore PUBG Pride is actually going to go and move ahead to their 5th finish, because the guy that have been knocked out from Team DRS is easily going to get finished off. And there we go. The 5th kill came in. Joseph Pro, to be precise, is pretty much empty-handed. He has not got any frag. Skylin got actually one frag in his favor, which was absolutely amazing. But moving up ahead, EVOS Reborn still surviving. DRS is there, still surviving. Team 1 team is also surviving. LGD Esports on the other corner with only, let's say, 3 kills in this particular matchup, have the 4-man power. Same goes for Nova TENCENT as well, have the 4-man power. DG Esports actually have the 4-man power, but when it comes to the killing scenario, well, I guess there Nova TENCENT and DG Esports are pretty much empty-handed. But very soon, I believe the frags are going to get convoluted, and finally DRS gets eliminated at hashtag 13 with only 1 frag. That means a total of only 1 point is going to get convoluted in the favor of Team DRS with 14 points. 2 matches have been passed out. DRS, well, the comeback is much needed from the corner now.
Well, if we look at the teams, 12 teams of 44 players are still surviving, and the comeback of Team DRS is very much needed, because the level of performance which they have shown in the competition of tournaments, the events, that was just unexpected, and the level of performance they are showing right now is just definitely to watch out. But Team Nova, I think they are not looking so great. King onto the other end, if I'm not wrong, it's a Logger there. He has been taken down. Order has been taken down. Frozen, well, he has also been taken down. The last Lone Ranger surviving for his team is Jimmy. Well, will he go for that revival, or he will go for that clutch? This is the question right now. But first, he'll get the revival for the players, for the teams as well. And Order is being revived, and I don't think the 4-man standing Team Nova will again come back, because I think 1 or 2 players will get eliminated as team number 18 is coming very close. They'll surely confront out some finish point. They'll surely get some more finishes point. But talking about the zone totally shifted towards those northeastern parts of the region. Picardo is that region to be watching out. Graveyard, I think that is a great cluster. There is a great crowd to watch out. Almost 2 to 3 teams are there as well, and eventually each and every team is coming very much closer to the zone, side by side. But looking by team YGS, so they are 4-men standing, having 1 finish point in their favor. Talking about Sando, well, he's still moving down. Marnot has been taken down. EVOS KF will eliminate SMG. Remember, multiple fights and multiple teams are trying to initiate fights at a particular point of time. This clearly states that the lobby is totally getting hesitated.
Indeed, a lot of ruckus was there in the lobby, no doubt in that, but he was clear, managed to put down Team SMG is one good member. Meanwhile, if we talk about Team MABETEX, well, they have been taken down. Nova King is also getting pressurized quite a bit. As you all can see, Nova King gets taken down. Jimmy and Trial O2 is actually on the back foot. Okay, that's Order to be precise, who's actually coming on the back foot. But Jimmy gets taken on with that vehicle blow just like that. Jimmy is also knocked out. Now Order becomes the only ray of sunshine for this particular team. Let's see how it's going to retaliate, how it's going to survive a bit more or not. That is something pretty much everybody has to be worried with about. But when it comes to YANGON Collectors, after losing Marnet, this team is looking quite confident. Some more smokes have been appointed so that Jimmy can be back in the game. But Order is actually trying his level best to just res out his teammates so that the survival, the possibility of that particular kind outcome to be precise is going to be there. But LGD comes up with a beautiful nade, definitely is going to cook up that nade and eventually create a huge impact. The nade goes in, the impact was mesmerizing. After that, it's talking about GG Sports. Well, again, the nades are actually coming up with some good intensity. Jimmy also repatches himself, he's also back in the game. And finally, Team Nova REBORN is actually going to be, Nova TENCENT to be precise, is actually going to be back in the game. And meanwhile, if we talk about DG Sports at hashtag 12 with only one position point and one eliminations, the team has been taken down. We are pretty much close to 500 live watching, but right now, guys, make sure to support, make sure to actually share just as much as you can. Apart from that, the amount of likes that we have right now is close to 150. So, guys, make sure to actually create a huge impact on that perspective as well. But BMW Esports on the other corner also gets taken down. BNW Esports is not looking that great in terms of the leaderboard as well. But apart from that, I'm actually unhappy to see teams like BTR and GPX performing the way they are performing right now. But Kill Enemy is actually going to be on the back foot with the 3-man power. The 4 zone is about to be here in time soon. And once the zone actually comes in, another level of carnage is going to be there. Definitely, team number 18 has to push forward, and that's going to be Yangon Collectors. They have to push forward to just be in the zone. Apart from that, we have got Team Godlord also in the scene. Game Lord to be precise also in the scene. Apart from that, Uncle PUBG Pride is also trying to move in. Definitely a lot of teams have to travel out, but let's see which team is going to do it successfully or not.
Well, of course, you make plans, you make a lot of planning and plotting, but it's not possible that each and plots are not possible because of some issues that you face inside the game. But talking about team number 18, well, the team YJ is looking very much strong. They are 3 men standing with those 2 finishes, but then they're targeting team number 4, and it's going to be quite disturbing, quite challenging for the team initiating those fights in a limited area in a limited period of time. I think it's going to be quite difficult. Only 12 seconds is left. Teams outside the zone, I think they'll rush in, they'll get inside the zone and use advantages of the third party fights, take advantages of the fights already being inside the zone, and that can cause a trouble for the teams already inside the zone. It will not advantages to them as well. But Team Nova, well, Jimmy and Order are back here, and they are back in the kill feed, getting those grenade, getting those throwables at those right point, right pinpoint, and there you go. Order will finally take some more finishes points. Sando will make an entry. He'll eliminate Nova. Order down. Jimmy being that solo player standing is coming for that 1v1 scenario, but not. It was not a 1v1. It was like a 1v2 because another player of a team of YG, well, he has also entered the fight. 9 teams, 29 players are still. I'm sorry, 28 players are still surviving, and almost 17 minutes is over, and it's the last phase, it's the last lap of the match. Let's see how will the team perform on, because if we talk about the zone formation, zone is totally taking the hard shift. Team UT Wala GZY, he's moving forward with that Scarlet in his hand, will able to take down KP Xerox. It's a very challenging task to watch out. I don't think it's going to be that easy, but one grenade, one Molotov at right point, I think it'll workable.
Well, indeed, the throwables are coming up when it comes to teams known as NFT Esports. Well, this is the team which is trying to gain the points. One team is also trying to gain the points. Well, the nade is about to be there. This nade can be very critical, but the guy patches himself. Apart from that, the nade still finds the connection. And when it comes to, let's say, Devin, well, that guy won't be able to get the revival, I believe. So apart from that, some more smokes have been cooked up so that even if he can incline the fight and eventually gain some good escalation to be precise. But the devious shots are still coming up, as you can see, but fails to connect any kind of shot. Just like that, Team NFT Esports is back in the game, but still some shots are coming up. Kill Enemy was taken down swiftly. Apart from that, Team Encore PUBG Pride is still trying to actually have some, should I say, attainment, and some attainment to be precise is actually going to be much needed. But when it comes to LGD Sports, with only 3 facts in their favor and after losing one good guy from the team, definitely the ruckus is going to be there in the mines. Definitely a lot of trouble is going to be there, but still they are trying their best to attain some good points. Moving up ahead, they are pretty much on the edge of the zone. Yangon GALACTOS is about to be here anytime soon. They are pretty much close to them. Definitely a lot of fight can be delivered from that angle as well. But APG managed to put one down from team known as NFT Esports, I believe. And LGD is also trying to connect some good guys from team Yangon GALACTOS.
Of course, it's going to be quite difficult, quite challenging for the team, but beneath these things, I would also like to request my audience that please do hit that like button, guys. Please subscribe the channel, share the stream. Our like target for the day will be of 300 likes, so please do hit that like button. But talking about it, so GLD Victor, well, that was an amazing spray from his side with that red dot. And if we talk about the team number 9, well, they're not inside the zone, and the only team, if you can see, there's a one single team getting inside the zone. Each and every team is outside the zone, and the hardship of the zone is totally favored toward those southern parts of the region. I think it's going to be very much challenging. Each and every team will come inside the zone from those northern parts of the region, western parts of the region, and southern parts of the region is already covered by a single team. That team, I think it's will always be an advantage, will always get a upper hand. But talking about team number 4, well, LGO, I don't think that they are known to enemy's position, because by the intent they are driving the vehicles, I think they are not known to the position of the enemies as well. But they are still moving very much slowly, very much composed, very much calmly, having 3 finishes point in their backpack. I think will give them a lot of upstandings. I think will give them a lot of confidence as well, but they are still struggling to find a good cover, a good position inside the zone. If we talk about another team, if we talk about team number 10, they are also holding a great position. Team number 18 on to the end, team YGS. They are also 2 men standing, having those 4 finishes point in the backpack, moving towards those 7 teams. So 24 remaining players are still alive. 21 minutes are almost over. Let's see how will the team move forward with the strategies right now. But for talking about team YGS, well, they're still gaining some more finishes point, having M416 in their hand. I think this is what you need in Miramar. This is what you need with that M416 3x, the bestest combination ever, and Sando will easily get some more finishes point.
Well, definitely, I guess this kind of carnage is going to be quite amazing to watch out. But there we go, Game Lords Victor has also been taken down. But would like to actually appreciate every one of you guys who is actually supporting us, be it Frontline Staff 001, who is saying OP casting and big fan. I have to talk about Mr. Baldy as well. You are also supporting us a lot, and that's absolutely amazing that you guys are actually showcasing your strength, showcasing your love to us. But moving up ahead, let's talk about the match. Well, EVOS Redface is going to be one of those guys who is just once again coming up with the domination phase. And finally, YANGON GALACTOS once again survives. Game Lord gets taken down at hashtag 17. Now they are in the top 6. That's interesting. Moving up ahead, if I talk about Team NFT Esports, they are here with the 4-man power, but definitely won't be enough for them to, let's say, retaliate. Some throwables have been cooked up, but now the revival is something which is going to be quite crucial, and the need might be cooked up soon enough. YANGON GALACTOS also gets taken down, which is again another tiring task to watch. But one team tries to push forward. As you can see, one team is just trying their best to convolute the points in their favor. Chengfu gets spotted. Scarlet's plays are something which is going to be needed right now. As you can see, nades are being cooked up. UTG glitch might not actually get the revival, but the 10 seconds are going to be quite vital. But another beautiful knockout came in, just like that. Glitch also gets taken down with the need. Okay, that's the final finish of this particular fight up. But if we talk about Hunzon, he has to actually be in the zone, but that won't be possible because the mollies, the nades, the throwables, the sprays, which are actually getting cooked up from the ends of, let's say, this particular team, which is known as Team NFT Esports, is looking quite amazing to watch out. But push forwarding is something which is going to be quite vital, and I don't think so they should go for that kind of stance because it can be very critical. 30 more seconds to go after that. The zone will punch in. Yeah, you have to take the revenge, but don't you think so that you have to actually reach out to the free zone as well? Some sprays are being delegated. Nobody gets connected with it, but right now they are actually going to just provide their position points as well. They are easily going to just convolute their position. But moving up here, the team has to be in the zone. I said might actually get spotted really very soon because Shark is actually on the top of that roof. He can easily spot him. He can easily take him apart.
Of course, as you said earlier, pushing forward plays a very vital role here. But talking about team number 10, they're not inside the zone, and they need to get inside the zone very at those earlier stages because you have only 2 minutes left out. If we talk about team number 15, they're also having a great position, but not inside the zone. It's outside the zone, and getting position inside the zone can be very much struggling, very much difficult to watch out. And let's see how the team perform. But as you can see, Team EPG is holding those gatekeeping scenarios, and there comes a great spray from CAD. Will that make any connection? I don't think so. Artificial cover of smoke, I think that is very much required right now. You should have those smokes, you should have those utilities, those throwables, those grenades are parted in your hand. But almost 23 minutes is over. If we talk about EVOS Lyzerg, well, he's still holding that position. EMP45 with that M416 in his hand. I think that can make a bigger difference. Talking about team number 10, they're still holding that a great position onto the another. And if we talk about team APG, I think they are not inside the zone, not outside the zone. They are just standing on the edge of a knife, edge of the zone, and and there comes a phenomenal spray. APG DCY will be taken down by Lyzerg. AB45 a great spray, and one more grenade, one more good throwables at those on-point connection. I think the elimination of Team APG will totally be confronted. But looking at the timer, looking at the zone, well, 24 minutes are almost over. You have having just 55 seconds in your hand to get inside the zone. Let's see how will team move forward. What will be the strategies? What will be the momentum? But team number 7, Team EVOS, what I think, Raider, I think they are coming with another chicken dinner in this match, because having zone advantage and having finishes point, having a great start will give them a lot of boost. But there comes Team 1 UX, and I think this team can challenge Team EVOS very nicely.
Well, already the Carnage is heading forth. Let's see what will happen eventually. If we talk about KF and Microboy and Redface, well, these are the three members which are still trying their level best to delegate with the fights. If we talk about Team APG, trying to push forward, well, there we go. And the beautiful knockout came in. EVOS is not looking that great. Microboy can be the guy who can easily turn the tides. You already know Microboy is one of those carnageous players which can easily turn a lot of things in his favor. But right now, moving up ahead, EVOS Microboy has to consider this fact as well, that the zone is actually getting convoluted and he has to survive a bit from that particular perspective as well. EVOS with 8 amazing finishes is already moving up ahead, and FD Esports on the other corner was actually taken down when it comes to one team. They're also trying to move forward, but APG's last man standing gets spotted. That's Microboy gets taken down, and just like that, EVOS REBORN gets declined from this player. A beautiful winner and chicken dinner to be precise. But apart from that, when it comes to two beautiful teams, that's going to be one team versus APG. One team for sure is about to get the winner chicken dinner, because they are here with the 4-man power, and they are here in the closer fights. And just like that, as you can see, we were talking about this aspect, and the winner chicken dinner is going to be here anytime soon. And just like that, the winner chicken dinner came quite beautifully for one team. They were being very dominant. They were being very, very dominant, I believe, in the previous few fights. But eventually, when it came to the last swift moment, they actually drove directly up ahead to the enemy, and just like that, obstructed their field of view, and just like that, take them apart.
I earlier stated that there could be only one team, and this was one team which could target Team EVOS, because Team EVOS was looking very great right now. There could be a chance that they could get a back-to-back chicken dinner, but we'll move forward. Keeping these things aside, we'll move towards the most valuable player of the match, and talking about the most valuable player, the MVP of the match, and moving towards the match statistics. That's going the most important part of the day as well. This was the second match, Raider, the map of Miramar. But before moving forward, I'll request my audience to please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream as well. Our target will be of 500 likes, so please show your support. And I would also like to take your guesses, which team can get, which player can get the most valuable player title.
Well, indeed, guys, because two good matches have been passed out. Right now, we are left with only 3, and the map rotation is going to be somewhere around like Wrangel, Miramar, and Wrangel are about to be here anytime soon. But before that, we are going to witness all the overall statistics and the other details of this particular matchup, which will showcase us that how this match went out. So I'm actually eagerly waiting for the overall standings and the other things, like, let's say, the eliminations and damage bar graph, or the overall statistics, what happened, who is the MVP, and rest things like that are actually about to be here anytime soon on our screen, so that we can witness that which are those teams which are on top, which are those players which actually did an exceptionally well job, and how they performed, and what was the breaking point for them as well. Everything is actually going to get, let's say, discussed, but we are waiting for the right moment to come in.
Of course, we'll wait for the right moment as well. But talking about Team EVOS, Team SMG, they played phenomenally in this particular match. The start was amazing, and the most important thing, what we talk about, the consistency throughout the match, which this showed. I think that was more prior to get those winner chicken in the first match, but in the second match, I think we missed something. You were having third parties also, and Miramar is a different map as compared to Wrangel. Many things are different: the rotation, the vital role, the player's advantage, the grenades, the throwables on point. Because when we use grenades, when we use throwables, there's a lot of stuff that grenades get deflected, throwables get deflected, and they make a lot of difference in the game as well. So these are little things, this little skill set make a lot of difference throughout the match, and little difference make a big difference in overall standings. But moving towards the highlights, while talking about Team SMG, they are 4-man standing, right? They were 4-man standing, and they've almost secured a vital finish point at those early phases. But this fight played a vital role. Team DRS, well, talking about this team, they lost the match at those early phases. They got eliminated at those early phases. And talking about Team Nova, I think I was expecting a better performance from their side, but let's see what will happen in the upcoming matches.
Well, in the upcoming matches, I believe the contribution and the fight system is actually going to be something quite amazing to watch out. But one team with this kind of, let's say, domination was absolutely amazing. But before that, let's give a short recap to you guys at how DG Esports went down to the drain. Flyboy was the last man standing, but eventually a beautiful Molly came in, and just like that, I believe the situation went out of the hands of this particular team. Look at that, how beautifully the nades and the Molly actually got converted. And Trial 3 was the last man standing. He was also taken down by Team SMG. And remember, SMG is the only team which was actually able to take down the Bigetron as well. So obviously, SMG is one of those amazing teams which is trying to perform exceptionally well. Although when it comes to order, well, he was also unable to just retaliate with the fight when it came to Jimmy to be precise. He went down for the jiggle, but eventually his ADS was on, and that is how he actually choked down. But look at that! This beautiful trade of fire was absolutely amazing. Zai gets down from the back foot, and eventually his nade was able to take down Davan as well from Team 1 Kill Esports.
Of course, the grenades was very much on point. The grenades was very much good to watch out. But talking about team, I think they got the chicken dinner. And looking towards team SMG, they were looking great. But the point was there, we faced a lot of third parties, we faced a lot of fourth parties. And talking about team YG, I think they secured a lot of finishers point in their favor beneath the third parties, getting those third party shots very rightly and very on point. But talking about team number 7, well, team EVOS, if you see right now at those zone area, they were on height advantages, they were having those man advantage, they were also holding those position into their favor very much rightly. But team YG, I think they tried to conclude the game onto team EVOS, and team EVOS secured many more finishers point. They were inside the zone. Looking towards right now position, it was very much clear that team EVOS could get those finishers point, could get those winner chicken dinner into their favor. But suddenly team came and they changed the game, they changed the pattern of the game and took the game into their favor and finally secured the winner chicken dinner very much mesmerizingly. Moving towards the winner container, team one
Yeah,
team
right.
has secured the first rank, 6 elimination in their backpack, and also secured 21 total points with a damage of 977. And there's a printing mistake. The rank is, if I'm not wrong, is 1, because when you get to winner chicken dinner, you get the first rank as per we know. But moving apart from the winner chicken dinner, moving towards the most valuable player, almost 6 elimination were done by APG Astro X6, 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Oh my god, that's a great consecutive number. But talking about the percentage, well, team contribution was of 42.86%, longest elimination was of 67 meter, and MVP points of 6.8.
Well, indeed, if I talk about the rankings, I believe the team which is known as one team is actually at the second rank in the overall standing, and that is why actually the number 2 was written on that black. But moving ahead, let's talk about the players, like let's say how they performed. As we all know, the MVP is in front of us. It is actually from Team Encore PUBG Pride. The name is Astrog 6, 6 eliminations, and the team contribution is 42.86%, which is absolutely mesmerizing. But moving ahead, when it comes to overall statistics, Pro Scrims, day number 1, match number 2, we have got 56 eliminations in our faces, and total healing was 7,915. When it comes to the total amount of knockouts, it was 65, 183. Throwables were being used, 2 airdrops were deployed and eventually looted up, and 9 headshots were implanted. When it came to the total rescues, I believe there the standings were only 24, and Evo's red face was the guy with 322 meters of the longest elimination.
Of course, the longest elimination was of 322 meter, which is very much high as compared to Miramar. We always expect the elimination of 300 to between 300 to 400 meters as per the map of Miramar. But repeating the things, talking about the revivals, 795 of total healings were done. Talking about the revivals, almost 65 knocks were done. Total rescues, 24 was done. Talking about the match summary, well, 6 highest elimination was done by APG Sky in. Highest damage was done by APG Astro X of 1, 2, 3, 4. APG Joseph Pro got a great finishers point there as well. But talking about the match ranking, well, there comes the match ranking. APG will get 26 overall points. One team at 21 getting the second position in overall standings. EVOS REBORN getting those 16 points at third, and the same stands will compete. The same stands will continue throughout the data as well. YANGON GALACTOS 10 points of 5th position, UTG Intiplo 9 points of 6th position, and like this 8, 5, 4, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0 will continue, will end the match ranking here itself. But talking about the damage and elimination graph, what do you think? I think the most probably the team, so we talk about the its coming team APG with 14 elimination and a damage of 3086 in their backpack.
Indeed, the performance was on point, no doubt on that. When it came to the carnage, when it came to the retaliation fire, it was actually being quite amazing. But when it came to, let's say, one esports, I guess they also tried their level best to delegate the points. EVOS Reborn had only 8 eliminations. When it came to LGD, they had only 3 eliminations and eventually 724 of the damage. But teams like KE, MABETEX, BTR, and GPX, they were unable to perform the way we wanted to.
Of course, as we can see, no teams, no places very close to Team EPG in elimination or in damage stats, because almost each and every teams are onto their half. Because if we look at Team EVOS, they have almost secured 8 finishes point with a damage of 1820, which is almost 50% of what we compare to APG. And I was expecting the same. We talk about the overall ranking. EVOS Reborn is with that with those 41 points. They are at the table top. And if we talk about one team with those 34 points, they're ranking at second position. If we talk about APG PUBGM, well, they have secured 26 points. And if you see, a first and second team are tackling with each other, competing with each other, but third to a seventh team, I think there's a second level competition, as we can see in the points table.
Well, indeed, there is a competition between these two giants, but would like to actually add on that Angkor PUBG Pride is actually trying to move forward. LGD is also catching up to the fights. MABETEX Yangon characters are a little bit far away, but eventually one good chicken dinner can easily put them apart in the top three. For now, DRS, when it comes to that particular team, only 14 teams from their corner. UTG and TL Pro also had only 14 teams, 14 points to be precise in their favor. Now let's talk about the second page of this leaderboard. Let's check it out, and there we go. We have got the second page, and the team which is going to be there at hashtag, I believe, 10 is going to be the team known as the team long name. Okay, I guess DG Esports is there with the 12 points. SMG is there with 12 points. BNW Esports is there with 9 points. Game Lord with 7 points. Kill Enemy with 2 points of their own. Bigetron RA with only 2 points. When it comes to GPX, I guess they are only 0 points. And would like to actually see what will happen in the next upcoming fights. Nova TENCENT is residing at the 9th position for now.
Well, of course, they'll be at 9th position, and GPX, well, they haven't opened a single point. They haven't done opening yet. And talking about the other teams as well, looking towards Team SMG, they have performed very much better in the first match, but I was expecting the same consistency in the second match as well. And talking about Nova TENCENT, well, there you go. They have secured a 5 place point, 8 elimination, and with a total points of 13, they'll be there on that 9th position. But they'll still try to get their names in the first page list, because having your name in the first page list will always get a chance to get your name in the top 5, and having your name in your top 5 will always get a chance you to get your name in top 3, and then the first position is almost yours. Let's see how will the team perform in the upcoming stages, in the upcoming matches, because like this, the ending of the second match will be over, Raider, and we'll move towards the third match. And talking about the map rotations, first matchup is Office of Erangel, then again Miramar, then Erangel. And I think there's some difference in the schedule, because we were expecting Erangel Miramar, Erangel Miramar, and then Erangel, but the change in schedule is almost like Erangel and Erangel. I think there's some glitches, as you can see. We'll end the match here itself, and I would also conclude on the end that, guys, please show your support. Please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream as well.
Indeed, guys, make sure to actually go with it. Make sure to actually share the stream as much as you can, because eventually we are going to be back with these kind of events. These kind of amazing scrims are going to be there, and eventually we just had the massive tournament of $1,500, so definitely a huge impact in the community was made by that particular tournament as well. But moving ahead, this is the Pro Scrim. This is the Battleground Arena, where people are actually here to learn some new strategies or develop some new strategies, or eventually form some new strategies, and the teams are actually trying their level best to go with it. But now we are going to take a short break, and we'll be back again with the third match, which will be in the Arena of Erangel. Well, welcome back, guys. With a short break, we are back again on the screens, and there we go. We have got the map of Erangel once again coming up. The flight path is starting from the northern arena, it is going to the southern regions, and it is starting from Severny, going down to the military base region. Definitely a beautiful flight path coming up. And one of my favorite places to be precise is going to military base, where people might actually jump in, but we have to check out where the people are going to jump in and how they're going to retaliate. For the moment, everybody is jumping in their favorite vicinities. Would like to add on teams like UTG is jumping in Severny, and let's see where Team Bigetron is going to jump in this particular fight, because in the previous matches they were jumping in the Pochinki, and yes, of course, once again they are jumping in the Pochinki vicinity. But is their Team SMG once again here to retaliate with them, or is it going to be a safer side for Team BTR in this particular match? We have to check it out.
Of course, as you explained, the fly path is very much chaotic to watch out. Starting from those northwestern part of the region, ending towards the southeastern parts. I think it's going to be very much difficult for the teams and players as well. But the major drop locations, where we can see a major drop clashes we talk about, is Novo Ripnoi, military base as well, Milta, Yasna, Polyana, Rozok, Water City, maybe. And as I can see, there's no team in Water City right now. Savorni. If we talk about the zone, I think it's very much chaotic, very much clusterized to watch out. Watch out, the zone is totally shifted toward those northern parts of the region. And there you go, team number 5 is totally initiating those early phases of fights. And it could be very much chaotic, very much difficult. BTR Juxi, well, he has been eliminated. The first blood, I think, of the match.
I believe Jaxi was the one who got the first blood in this particular matchup, and the guy from Team SMG was the first one who was taken down. And that's interesting to watch out, because BTR, if they are back in the game, if they're back with the kind of consistency that they are known to be, I believe this is going to be a very troublesome fight for Team SMG. Memory goes in, gets some good loots, but in the lobby, you can already see YANGON GALACTOS is trying to just create a lot of ruckus. Team KE's one good member is already getting fisted, and if we talk about Team Nova King, well, there we go. Team Nova TENCENT's King was able to retaliate one guy from Team DG, and that's Flyboy, who is going to go down to dust just like that. Team BTR once again tries to perform exceptionally well. Taxi and the other guys are actually trying to push forward. They're just trying their level best to maintain the kind of, let's say, legacy that they are bound to actually have. Game Lord, if I talk about this team, another throwable being cooked up. The need won't be getting connected anytime soon, I believe so. Well, with the 6 at 6, this guy is trying to push forward. Let's see how the push goes in. Oh, from the other corner, LG Lights gets taken down. That's a sad side to what. LG Sports getting diminished like this one was not at all expected, but eventually the last man signing from Team LGD is going to be on the backboard with a beautiful S1987. That's the only shotgun he had, and finally he has also been taken out. But apart from that, Team BTR is here with the kind of carnage that we expected, and there we go with some beautiful blows. Team BTR is also losing some HP, is also losing some players to be precise. Apart from that, let's see how the last man signing from Team BTR will retaliate, and just like that, BTR finally dominates, and just like that, eliminated Team SMG. This showcases that yes, BTR is the team which can easily turn the tides, and is the team which you don't want to mess with. Just like that, BTR with 4 amazing finishes is back in the game. They are trying to reign on top. Now this could be the match where they are going to aim for the win over the chicken.
This was the start which was required from Team PTR. They have finally secured those 4 finishes point in those early finishes, early games. But almost 3 minutes and the 3 to 4 minutes are over, and the looting period, as if you talk about, you have more 3 to 4 minutes left out. More 50% of the time is left out to complete your looting period. But let's see how will the team complete their looting period. Talking about Team Nova, because in chat section, very much team were asking about Nova. So there you go, in front of your screen you can see your Team Nova. Jimmy Frost and Order are still surviving. If we talk about EVOS, they have secured the winner chicken dinner in the first match itself. 4 men standing, haven't secured any finish point yet, still moving with that slow and steady approach around those 10 houses region. But the question is still the same, how will they move forward in this match? Because in the past matches, in the first match they secured winner chicken dinner. In the second match they were almost on the top 3 teams. They was almost able to secure the chicken dinner as well. But here the question is that how will they maximize the gameplay? Will they again come in that top 3, top 5 position, or there may be some difficulties, there may be some challenges as well?
Well, we have to look forward to it, that how the challenges are going to get established. EVOS REBORN with the first one in the bag. In the second one, they got diminished. In the third one, they're trying to start off quite well. Let's see how their aggregation is going to get built, and how many points they are actually going to take in their favor is something we all actually want to know. 14 teams, 52 players still residing in the fights. The first zone is already getting cumbersome. It's already trying to rotate. It's already moving up ahead. So let's see what will happen in this particular play zone, how many points they are actually going to build in the first play zone. But right now, if we talk about the eliminations, well, 2 good teams from the lobby are already out of equation. That's Team LGD and SMG as well. 2 good teams already down to dust, not going to survive anymore in this particular matchup. Third match for them is already in the vein. They have to move up. They had to move up, but LGD at Aztec 4, that team actually went out, that is something which is going to make them worry a lot, because they were actually at a comfortable spot. But in this particular matchup, if YANGON, GALACTOS, or Team MABETEX, or hell, even Nova TENCENT can easily get a chicken dinner. If that actually happens, definitely their performance will actually go down to drain. And eventually, we can't forget of teams like BTR and Team DRS as well, because these are one or two teams which are more than capable, which can easily take some good points in their favor. But right now, for the moment, DRS is actually looting the Milta regions. And when it comes to NFT esports, with that AAA, they are trying to move in.
Well, of course, so with that triple, they'll still try to move in, but almost 5 minutes are over, and you guys need to be very much ready. Talking about Team UTG, last match was very much good for the team. They have secured almost a top 5 to 10 position, but conditioning the same condition in this match, I think they're still moving with that slow and steady approach. They're trying to get some more place point as compared to finishers point, because the movement of this team, the principle of this team is totally been looking on to that. They are moving with that slow phase, slow approach. But if you look at the timer, if you look at the zone, I think. Are holding very much straight. Team OG is a two-man standing with those zero finishes point. They have secured a great start from their side as well. But losing those two players, I don't think it's a great start till continued, because at those early phases when you are with that four-man standing, one finish point, zero finishes point, it's okay, it's good. You have a great start, but losing those players, I think that is not a great start. Without gaining any finish point, I think they are going at a negative start.
Well, definitely the play loss is going to impact a lot. Trial 01, Playboy, both of them have been taken down. Trial 03 is surviving. Voger, if I talk about that guy, he's also surviving in the lobby. Definitely a huge impact has to be delivered from the corner. Gatka 6 houses is the region where they're going to loot for now. Being very dominant is actually going to be the goal for them. But apart from that, Team 1 Esports, the previous member team, is trying to pop out some good members from team known as actually, I believe, NFT Esports.
Well, of course, NFT Esports as well, and as we can see, team number 15 is trying to contribute their rotation in front of the enemies of team UTG as well. But let's see how will they move forward. And there comes this 1v2 clutches. It's almost like impossible for Glitch, because holding the position down the ground, moving the crosshair upwards, it's very much difficult. And talking about Chenga Fu, Cheng Fu, well, he's being that barely surviving with those 1 HP. And if we talk about one Ho Yuxuan, well, he's also waiting. Team 1 team getting those winner chicken in the last match. Considering the scrims, considering the players in this, considering the same confidence in this match as well, I think they are struggling a lot. Team 1 team, I think they need to wait. They need to hold on, hold forward. And UT, they are totally ready to challenge team 1 team. They aren't afraid of any play, they aren't afraid of any team as well. Almost 8 minutes to 9 minutes are over, and teams are ready for this rotation, because 50 seconds left out. So those 50 seconds, zone will shrink and a new zone formation will formed out. Well, similarly, if we talk about one team, they're still waiting, they're still moving on to the other end. A team of UT, well, they're also waiting, they're also trying to initialize the fight, trying to escalate the fight. But there comes a first knock, one shark, well, for the time being has been taken down. God is that player. Well, if I'm not wrong, it's Cheng Fu is that player. He'll finally take that one pick, but I think the revival will get also, the revival will be also easy for the players as well. Almost 9 minutes are over, and talking about team UT, they are still waiting. Apart from these things, if you see Raider, one knock, one push could be a possibility, could be a chance. But if you see in the mini map, if you see in the mini zone, well, team 15, team 1 team is totally in the center, and team UT has made a triangular a trap and almost circling the team number 15 in those trap.
Well, I believe the fights are actually going to be quite chaotic for sure. The traps are actually being set right now. I'm actually trying to deliver this. Oh, but the guy gets spotted. Just like that, Viper is going to get taken down. Team 1 Esports is looking quite comfortable in terms of their carnage which is coming up. I'm really very sorry, I'm getting some hiccups right now. But the way these people are trying to fight is absolutely mesmerizing. Another nade goes in. Shark is actually going to attack a UTG's last member. Let's see, is the attack going to be possible or not?
Well, this is a question to watch out. Is that attack is possible or not? But talking about team number 10, well, they're down the ground. One shark is still moving with that MP45. The search parties, the search engines are totally activated of team 1 team, and being that 1v3 scenario is going to be very much difficult for team UT. And there comes GXY. Well, finally he'll been taken down by Cheng Fu. And if we talk about the clutches, I don't think the clutches will be possible apart from team UT. But team number 15, team 1 team, as the name justifies this team, they are performing as a team. They're performing as unity, and almost 10 minutes is over. Now the question is that how will they move forward inside the zone, because 10 minutes is over. and 16 seconds is left to get inside the zone. And talking about the zone formation, well, there comes the zone formation. Almost the zone is totally shifted toward those northern parts of the region. Many more teams are yet coming inside the zone. The maximum crowd, the maximum cluster can be seen outside those eastern parts of the region, on those apartments, school regions, Pochinki regions. And if we talk about those central part, Georgia Pool Hill, Georgia Pool regions, those open wheat fields, I think these are the regions to watch out. By team number 15, they are back into the trouble. Team 1 team initiating another fight again, but onto the other end, team UTG International Pro finally has been taken down. One Chong, I think he'll finally get a revival. 4 finishes point have been secured by one team. But before that, guys, I'll request each and everyone to please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream as well, because hitting like give us a moral support, give us a start that we can come back with some more scrims, come back with some more event, come back with some more tournament as well. So your support is very much needed. 375 people can see here, as well as our like target value for 500 likes. So please show your support in chat section as well, and like button also.
Well, indeed, guys, make sure to really showcase your support, showcase your strength, that you can actually go with it. But right now, we are pretty much close to 500 live watching. Make sure to actually go ahead and share as much as you can, so that we can actually reach that threshold, to be precise. But moving up ahead, when it comes to Team BMW, in the previous one, they were taken down quite swiftly. But in this one, I believe Team BMW can be very mesmerizing, can be one of those amazing teams which can easily build some good points in their favor. But Jimmy gets taken down. That's going to be the guy from Team Nova TENCENT. They are actually getting picked up. But how they're going to retaliate with it is going to be another big question. But YANGON GALACTOS once again tries to retaliate. Frozen also gets taken down. 2 good members have been taken down. Frozen finally gets finished off. And with this, now we are left with only King and Order. 2 big giants of this particular matchup. Let's see how these giants are going to play with it. Oh, the nades have been cooked up. King is about to actually just tag himself of this particular nade, but Order also resides in the same vicinity. Some more throwables, some more nades are actually getting built up. No doubt in that. Romeo Boy tries to deflate from the situation, tries to be away. But Order gets connected. That's a sad side to watch. And the push is coming up now. King goes in for a 1v1. King successfully does it. Oh, King is actually having a beautiful 1v2 stance coming up. The last man standing from Team YANGON GALACTOS is way too far away. That's going to be Marnet. He's the only ray of sunshine for the team. But meanwhile, Jimmy was also taken down. Now it's a battle of 2 giants. It's a battle between Marnet and King. Let's see who's going to win it. Let's see who's going to crush the hopes of who. But for the moment, the second zone is about to go down really very soon, in just a few seconds.
Well, of course, if we talk about team number 18, they are still solo plus standing with those 4 finishes point. They have great start. Talking about team DRS, well, team DRS last 2 matches was not great for the team, because they were facing a lot of early elimination, and this fight is almost like that. Almost 13 teams are surviving, 39 players are surviving, and there's again a fight at those early phases. Talking about Rals, Killer, YT, Delta, and Ganthe, they are still 4 men standing, having those 2 finishes point. Will give them a little bit of confidence, little bit of those hesitation will be get removed, but almost 13 to 14 minutes are removed. And talking about this team, well, they are disengaging this fight. Rals has been no, it's Gante. He has been taken down from the running vehicle. And if we talk about team APG, if you remember, Raider, last match was almost similar to like this, only the fight between team APG and team DRS were taken place, and almost team APG won that fight. And now the situation is almost like that team DRS is winning this fight.
Well, indeed, the team GRS, well, I talk about that particular team, well, their performance is absolutely mesmerizing. On the other corner, if we talk about DZ, well, there we go, the spray comes in. He's the last one standing of his particular team. Can he actually stand tall? Can he actually bring back his team's glory? Is something we want to know. I don't know what happened to DZ, but he rotated in a straight circle, and he is back again to the square one. From where he rotated, he's actually starting off that same journey, but the third zone is about to get compromised as well. Can see Joseph Rowe demands that revival for now, and I believe that revival is going to be here anytime soon. And there we go, the revival goes in. Just like that, he's going to repatch his teammate. But DRS, after losing Gante, they're also trying to crush the hopes. They're also trying to gain some good points. Let's see how they're going to build the points in their favor. Not well. Team 36 player, every single guy of this particular team wants to attain some good points, because Team GRS, well, they're looking sharp at #6. But if they are able to attain some more points in their favor, if they are able to attain close to, let's say, 10 to 20 points in this particular matchup, they can easily jump up to top 5.
Of course, they can easily jump to top 5 teams as well, but they need to get at least some finishes points, some place point as well. They need to make the balance of both the teams, both the things, because getting those 35 points, 30 points in a single match, I think that will be a boost to the team as well. But 12 teams with 36 alive players, almost 50%, more than 50% of the time is over in this particular match. And now the players will rush in inside the zone because there are only 23 seconds remaining to get inside the zone, and it could be very much difficult for the players and teams as well. But talking about team number 12, well, they're still holding a great approach, they're still holding a great scenario from their side. If we talk about Rulz, well, Rulz is also having a great potential to manifest it out. And one team, well, last match they ended with a great preference, and this match they started with a great preference. Let's see how will they move forward in the particular game.
Well, in every single match, the teams are trying their level best to pressurize and eventually gain some good points. We are pretty much close to another backlash coming up. Let's see what eventually happens. Would like to add on Team BTR is still surviving, and I'm actually really happy to see Team BTR surviving in this particular matchup. Have to see how they are going to perform. Have to see how they are going to punch their way to the winner chicken dinner. Because apart from everything else, if we talk about the bridge camping, or should I say, let's say zone camping scenario, I believe Team GPX is going to be the one which is actually gatekeeping the zone a lot in their favor. But apart from that, Team BTR is back and forth, trying their level best to retaliate and attain some good points. They have to rotate quite swiftly. As soon as they can actually rotate is something which is going to be quite amazing to watch out. But DRS moves in, have this showroom in this favor, and they can easily actually hold up in this particular vicinity. They can easily manipulate a lot of fights in their particular perspective. But when it comes to Team KE, let's see how they're going to perform. But MABETEX as Hershey gets taken down by the play zone. I believe some other finish is going to get convoluted. The fourth zone is about to get compromised in just a few seconds. I believe the fourth zone is already starting. So yeah, interesting amount of clash is already getting there. EVOS with the 4-man power is still surviving. One Esports with the 3-man power is surviving. But look at the damage that Noxen is actually having. His vehicle is about to be in flames, but he still survives. The anticipation this guy creates is absolutely amazing. But on the other corner, YG Marnet gets taken down. That means it's the end of team known as, I believe it's Team YANGON GALACTOS. But apart from that, we have another fight coming up. Team BTR's one good member, that's going to be Gen Foster, is already out of equation. But on the back foot, I believe I just heard a shot coming up. And that shot got connected to Misery 666.
Well, as you said, the equation is not looking so good because as we can see, Team OG is trying to target it. But talking about Team GP, they're still 4-man standing with those two finishes. But there comes the first pick. It's none other than it's March Leather who's been taken down. Talking about Donkey Ure, I think the total pressure is on his shoulders. Getting those right grenades, getting those right throwables onto point can make a lot of difference. And there comes Team Bigetron they will get eliminated here with that golden hand grenade, and that was just totally phenomenal. This what we call judging and exploiting, and executing what we call you. First you judge the players, first then you exploit the players, and then you execute your plan so very much nicely. But this grenade of Walker, that can make a difference. Will that go on point towards his opponents? No, I don't think it's going on point. It's going very much off targeted. Almost 18 minutes is over, switching to FPP to TPP, and let's see how will they move forward. But Team EPG, well, they are now 2-man standing, not having too much finishes point, but looking towards Team Clyde, if I'm not wrong. It's a team DLO. Well, they are still it's OLO, if I'm not wrong. They're still solo players standing. If we talk about Team BNW, they are 4-men standing with those 2 finishes point in their favor. They have secured top 10 teams, top 27 alive players, and almost 18 to 19 minutes are over. But there comes an amazing spray by Hong. He'll take down that player from the running vehicle. But this fight, and I think this can cause a lot of trouble, because having those zone disadvantages, getting those betrayed, getting those unbearable damage by zone, I don't think it's going to be worth it, Raider.
Moving up ahead, as you can see, I guess we have got another beautiful team coming up. This is going to be Team Game Lord, that's GLD coming up in the fight. Let's see how they're going to perform. Eventually, if we talk about DG Esports as well, Trial 03 and Voker are the only 2 members which are still surviving in this particular fight up. But the 4th zone is about to go down anytime soon, and eventually the 5th zone's marker is something I'm actually excited to watch, excited to see, to be precise. But when it comes to like teams like Nova, TENCENT and Team Bigetron RA, I don't know what is happening to these teams. Eventually they take a fight, they actually attain some good points, but at that same instance they are also taken down. I don't know what will actually happen in the leaderboard for them, because 2 more matches are good to go, and after that the journey for this Pro Scrims for day number 1, to be precise, is going to end. We'll be looking forward to see how many more days of these Pro Scrims are going to be there, but fortunately for now we just have only one. Moving up ahead, EVOS REBORN is also trying to clash and also trying to be into the free zone as well, but that won't be an easy task, to be precise. guys, but when it comes to Team GG, they have got a decent spot in the zone, and they are actually playing with it quite swiftly. When it comes to rules OG, we'll be getting spotted. Well, of course, M16 tap shots went in, but eventually nobody got connected with that. But DRS rules OG finally gets phased from Red Face, and just like that, Red Face was able to take him apart, take him down to the bits. Moving up ahead, Team DRS is actually in a very big tussle, is in a very big trouble because a lot of teams are focusing on them. They are way too open-ended, and I don't believe that Team DRS is actually going to move on and survive. And there we go. Just like that, DRS gets eliminated from Team EVOS with 7 amazing frags. This team is already crossing the 50-digit marker, which is absolutely amazing in its own way. In 3 matches, this team have actually attained close to 50 points in their favor. But moving up ahead, this could be the one which might actually get the winner as well.
Well, they might get a winner chicken dinner as far possible, but 8 teams, 18 players are almost here. 20 to 20 minutes, 20 to 21 minutes are almost over. Let's see how they move forward. What will be the strategy? What will be the momentum? This is a very much chaotic scenario building up. But talking about AppDZY, while having those VAP45 in their favor, I think it could be very much struggling, very much difficult to watch out. Switching to those M416. Well, moving forward, let's see what he'll able to do. But there comes a phenomenal spray. These YP will finally get down, if I'm not wrong, APG will finally get eliminated from this match. If we talk about Team EVOS, well, they are again coming with that same flow, same confidence. As you can see, right, they have secured 7 finishes point without losing any player, and the show flow is totally into their favor. If they again get those zone advantages, get those players advantage into right time at right place, I think this chicken dinner can be secured by this team as well. But talking about Team 1 team, I think they will be also targeting other players, but finally unknowingly elimination of one team will come with those 6 finishes point.
Well, an amazing team goes down to the dust. One team in the previous one got a beautiful chicken dinner, but in this one, they're already out of equation. It has 6-7, which was not the right call for the team, particularly moving up ahead. I'm actually happy to see teams like GameLord also surviving. The last one signing from that team is Victor, and he's the guy who is still surviving. He's the guy who is still uplifting for his team, particularly. But moving ahead, we have got another beautiful team trying to push forward, and this is going to be team known as EVOS REBORN. Let's see how they're going to reborn, because Microboy is there, Red Face is there. 2 good guys from that particular team are already being very chaotic. Baron gets connected from the right angle, and that connection was actually on point. But Victor with that beautiful nade of Baron gets taken down. That means what an on-point damage coming up. I believe very soon we might see the eliminations of Team MABETEX as well, because that team is also not looking as strong as we actually used to see them. Apart from that, from the back foot, Microboy receives some good shots, but still he is surviving. Victor being the last one signing of his particular team. Let's see how he's going to repatch himself, how he's going to regain the glory of Team GG Esports. The molly goes in, and it will be on point, to be precise. I'm not sure about how they're going to retaliate it, but of course the molly gets connected. Oh, he was able to take a knockout. That was interesting. Red Face gets taken down, but Lysak managed to retaliate. GPX on the other corner is also receiving a lot of damage. MABETEX with the 2-man power is trying to be as sneaky as they could be, but GPX, he is also surviving in the back end. 6th is the number of zone which we are looking up to, so definitely the zone damage is going to be mesmerizing. Before all of that happens, team known as MABETEX has to retaliate, has to be in the zone.
Well, of course, they have to be inside the zone. 4 teams, 12 players are still surviving. Almost 22 to 23 minutes are over. Now you guys need to be very much ready, very much astonishing. You should be very much prepared for the fights, very much prepared for the momentums, very much prepared for your results as well. But talking about Team MABE, well, they're still looking very much strong, having those 2-man strong advantage. 1 finishes point on your favor. 4 teams, 12 players are still remaining. 23 to 24 minutes are over. If we talk about team number 13, they are still holding a great opportunity into their hand. Having those M416 into your hand can make a lot of difference for Team GP while moving very fast inside the zone. Let's see how much more differences can make. But in number 13, I don't think it will make a bigger difference. And 4 teams, and there you go, EVOS. EVOS is finally getting some more finishes point. Team KE, well, I think they are also totally on fire. 23 to 24 minutes are almost over, and let's see how will they move forward in the particular time.
Well, indeed. A lot of picks, a lot of fights were actually delivered. But finally, if we talk about kill enemy, well, there we go. The team has been eliminated. Only 3 teams are residing right now. 3 teams and players, to be precise, is the right number which we are actually looking up to. EVOS REBORN is once again actually at a very sweet spot in the particular lobby, and the way they actually do this kind of amazing stuff is absolutely mesmerizing. But have to add on that the connections that the fight is actually going to be quite tough for them to actually retaliate. But GPX also received some good shots. Well, EVOS with the 4-man power gets 1 knockout. Lysak gets the guy who has been taken down. GPX is there with the 4-man power, and nobody has been taken down for now. So definitely, I guess Team GPX can be one of those amazing teams which can easily go for the winner chicken dinner. But Baron already seeing some good shots, as you can see. He is still surviving, but yeah, the shots are not stopping.
The shots are often not spotting out because of those artificial smoke covers, those artificial smoke covers, as well as we talk about these vehicles, unburned vehicles. I think they are also causing a lot of trouble. But in front of us, we can see three teams, so 10 players are almost remaining. 25 minutes is over, and let's see how the team perform. What will be the strategies? Talking about Team EVOS KF, I think this is a team which can get the chicken dinner, the only and one contender, which I believe which can get the chicken dinner. I think Team EVOS, and they are totally inside the zone, and the sixth zone. If the sixth zone favors you, I think that zone, the game favors you, and four-man standing with those 10 finishes point. I think Team EVOS is totally onto the roll. But I am talking about team number 13. Well, they are down the ground. This grenade, if they make connections, I think it could be very much troubling. And there comes a golden hand grenade with those golden hand grenade and Molotov. The raining throwables are totally on fire. And Team EVOS, within a snap, within a flow, they've secured 14 finishes point into their favor, and they are almost on top two teams, the top six alive players. Talking about team number 14, they are still moving with that same intent, the same show flow. But there you go, Leo with that 1v2. Will he able to do that? No, I don't think that's possible. There they misses the chicken dinner, and Team EVOS is coming with that double chicken dinner, the second chicken dinner of the day.
Indeed, a beautiful no doubt on that. A much needed one to be precise, because EVOS wants to be on top, and eventually being on top is going to be something which is absolutely amazing and absolutely needed for Team EVOS. And the way they are actually doing is quite amazing. In the first one, they had 25 points. In the second one, they were being consistent and they actually came up to top 5. But after that, what happened in the third one? They again are back with a beautiful spot in the winner chicken dinner place, and that is something which will actually make their fans smile a lot. But eventually, when it comes to the highlights, you can easily check out how EVOS REBORN manages to get the beautiful chicken dinner.
Of course, talking about the highlights, so this was the region from where the game started, from the where we begins the game. Team PTR is almost a four-man standing. They lost their players at those early phases, but talking about the other two players, they totally holded the prioritize. They totally holded their position. But talking about team number 15, I think team wasted a lot of time here at those edges, taking fights with a single team, and I don't think it was worth it. But not getting zone in the earliest position, not getting zone in the earliest phases can cause you a lot of trouble, which we totally saw in this match. But talking about the other teams as well, Team UT, well, they look very great, but losing fights at those early phases can cause trouble, and this was totally proven in this match. But Team YG, I think they were totally phenomenal moving forward, getting finishes point at those early stages with those AKM and with those finishes, especially W17. They tried their level best, but losing or winning is not in your hands, but executing your plans with a great effort, with almost giving you 100% is the most possible thing you can try.
And indeed, I guess the possibilities of those amazing things were actually done and dusted, and not in that. The performance was something which was absolutely mesmerizing. But moving ahead, when it came to Team GPX, the way they retaliated in terms of Team PTR was absolutely mesmerizing. Look at that need coming up. Luxy was the last guy who was trying his level best to cook up the need, but that need coming from 50 hours corner was absolutely on point. And just like that, he was able to dominate on the fight. When it came to BNW, two good members actually got knocked out consecutively. When it came to trial, he was also dragged out quite a bit. And just like that, he can down. The last man standing from the particular team was Burner, and he was also in a 1v1, but finally taken down. And just like that, BNW Esports, a beautiful team which could have actually had some good points, were actually taken down. But minutely, when it came to DRS, they tried to rotate in a very open vicinity, and they were picked off by Team EVOS and other teams as well.
Of course, they'll be picked up by EVOS and other teams as well. But talking about EVOS REBORN, I think they were totally playing phenomenal throughout the match, from the starting itself towards the ending of the match. They were totally phenomenal. And Hong, being that solo player standing from team one team, I don't think it was totally worth it to watch out. But as you get into the game, as you get into the zone, the more you play, the more you gain. And Team EVOS were playing, Team EVOS were enjoying the game. Literally, they were getting finishes point, they were executing their plans on point, on time. But sometimes they lost, sometimes they gain, sometimes they learn. But getting the zones at those right time, I think that's all you need.
Well, indeed, that's all you need for now. But moving ahead, when it comes to the clash coming up, well, there we go. Reborn, the way they retaliated with those amazing needs was absolutely on point. Red FS, and just like that, his jiggle went down quite swiftly. When it came to, like, say, Baron and the other guy that's known as, I guess, Leo, he was able to retaliate with a 1v1, but fortunately, Microboy took them apart. And just like that, the beautiful chicken dinner came in the hands of Team EVOS Reborn. And in this one, the bomber is of 31 points, 16 eliminations, 15 for the chicken, and a total of 31 points is already in the hands of that particular team. What an amazing domination from the team, no doubt on that. Moving up ahead, when it comes to the rank, well, it's obviously going to be 1, and 2,309 is the right amount that they are actually going to have.
Well, of course, talking about the most valuable player, it's EVOS X Red Face. It's almost damage of 938. If we talk about the team contribution, 37.50. percent of contribution was given. Longest elimination was of 90-meter. If we talk about the MVP points, well, it's what 6.01. I'm sorry, and this was almost about the most valuable player. But if we talk about the match statistics, I think that could be more chaotic and that could be more suspendable right now.
Yeah, indeed, that could have been the states, but right now, as you can see, overall statistics are in front of us. 58 eliminations, the total healings was 6,352, total knockouts was 61. When it comes to the amount of damages, I believe, amount of trebles to be precise being used, that was 231. When it comes to the airdrops being used, that was only 2. Headshots were implanted by 10 people, and if we talk about the total amount of rescues, that was only 18. When Microboy is the guy with the longest elimination in his play in this particular match, with the distance being of 371 meters. That's a massive distance to actually go with. But now moving up ahead, 2 more matches to go, and in those 2 more matches, we are going to witness a lot of chaos, a lot of ruckus. But before that, let's talk about the MVP rankings for the moment. The match summary, to be precise, we have got Red Face on top with 6 eliminations. Highest damage also goes in his hand, and it's everybody is actually from Team EVOS Reborn, and that's absolutely mesmerizing to watch.
Well, of course, everybody from Team EVOS, because it's totally state that if this team wins the game, if this team wins the match, I think the most valuable player the match summary is totally stated towards this team only. X Face, if we talk about X Red Face, highest elimination of 6, highest damage 938. Red Face, highest assist XKF with those 4 assists, 6 highest knocks Red Face again, and the longest elimination distance was secured by Microboy 5. But if we talk about the match ranking, well, there comes the team EVOS again with the 31 overall points. Team GPX 16 points, MAB Esports 14 points, one team 10 points, Kill Enemy 9 points, Game Lord 9 points, DG Esports 6 points, and like this, the whole points table got stated. But talking about the top ranking teams, top 10 teams, I think the single digit marker will not make a bigger difference, Raider.
Well, indeed, I would like to add on like teams like LGD Esports, SMG, one of those consistent teams in the previous 2 matches got out quite early. And if we talk about UG International Pro, same happened to them. APG also had the same fate. Nova TENCENT also had the same fate, although they had 4 eliminations, and same goes for the Bigetron RA. They also had 4 eliminations in the favor, but apart from that, they were unable to just gel out with the lobby, and their survival was something which actually went out of the hands. But moving up ahead, let's see what more can actually happen in the upcoming stages. Well, meanwhile, if we talk about the next page of this particular statistics, we are going to get the eliminations and damage statistics. EVOS being the most consistent team in terms of their damages and the eliminations. Apart from that, another beautiful team is going to be Team GPX with 6 kills and a 1463 of damage. When it comes to one team, they had 8 kills and 1419 is the amount of, let's say, damages they are actually wheeled. But now if we talk about teams like LGD went out single-handedly, APG also went out with 0 frags. Same goes for SMG and DG Esports as well.
So if we talk about the positioning, well, the highest finishes point was secured by Team EVO 16 and a damage of almost 2309 in the backpack. The second position of highest finish point is secured by one team of 8 finishes point, but the highest damage is secured by another team, which is Team GPX of 1463. So like there's the elimination and damage chart will end, and as we can see, each and every team LGD hasn't opened with those elimination and damage stats in this particular game. SMG has opened with the damage stats but no finishes point. The same applied for DG as well. They haven't secured any finish point, any elimination in this particular match. But moving towards the end of this match, this was the end of Erangel. Again, we have almost completed 3 matches, but the last 2 matches gonna be most chaotic, more challenging as well. Talking about EVOS REBORN, they have secured 72 total points, one team 44, and they are at second. And you can clearly see the lead Raider. The lead is almost of as we can see 28 points. Talking about MAB Esports, they have secured 30 points, third position, and after the second position, I don't think there's a bigger competition, but the first 2 teams, I think they are having a neck-to-neck competition.
Oh, indeed, the competition is going to be surreal. As you all can see, the gun game is actually going to be quite mesmerizing when it comes to the aggression. That is also going to be quite an amazing one, to be precise, to watch out. But let's see. Let's focus on the fights coming up. Let's see how the gun game is going to get convoluted. If I talk about the second page, we'll be looking forward to see where Team Nova, TENCENT, and the other guys are actually lurking for the moment. DG and DRS, they are also trying to contain some good points. They are at the same location to be precise with 18 points, and Yangon, GALACTOS and LGD Esports have also the same fate. Although when it comes to MABETEX Esports, with this kind of performance, they are back again on the top with the top 3 performances in the favor. But EVOS Reborn, the lead that they have maintained is absolutely amazing. One bad match for EVOS Reborn and one good match, one chicken dinner for a team. One team can easily put them at an equalizing stand, but I don't think so. It's going to be a possible one.
I don't think it's going to be a possible one, but talking about what Tencent, well, I'm expecting that the points table is almost like the last match because Nova Tencent was in the 9th position. Now itself, they're also in the 9th position. Almost secured 17 finishes point. Talking about GPX, Game Lord, Untitled Pro, BNW Sports, SMG, Kill Enemy. I think they are totally losing down with those 16, 15, 13, 12, 11 in the backpack. Bigetron RA, well, they have secured only 7 finishes point in the backpack, a single digit number. But 3 matches will be completed: Wrangle, Miramar, Wrangle, and now we'll move towards again Miramar map as there are some glitches shown, but we'll move towards the Miramar and then again we'll move towards the Wrangle. But this was only for this match, guys. I hope you liked the game. I hope you loved it. If you liked it, please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your mates, with your colleagues, or with your friends as well. We'll take a short break. We'll meet you after a short break. Till then, stay tuned and keep supporting.
Welcome back once again, guys. We are back with another beautiful setting in this particular pro scrim, and this is going to be the map of Miramar coming up in our faces. Well, again, a beautiful map coming up. Again, a beautiful fight is about to start. In the previous one, we saw how beautiful EVOS Reborn was back in the game, but right now the flight path is starting from another region. It is going towards the ruins region to be precise, but areas like Minas del Valle or Chumacera, even Prison, Los Higos, Puerto Praiso, even Los Leones is going to be far-fetched. So obviously, let's see which team is actually going to jump in that, and who is going to be able to, let's say, claim their victory in this particular matchup.
Well, of course, this is a very tough task to watch out. Talking about the, talking about the fly path, it's going to be great to fly path for right now. Talking about the zone, I think we'll be wait for the zone formation, but starting from those eastern parts of the region, ending towards those western part of the region, a little tilted towards, I'll say, towards the northern parts of the region. As you can see, it's a little biased towards El La Cobria, El Pozo, El Hazur as well. But Pecado, Montenuevo, these are the evergreen region where we'll see a lot of fights, a lot of clusters. But if we talk about Chumacera, Ladrilla, Minas General, Puerto Paresa, will teams go there? Will we be seeing a lot of fights or a lot of chaos and cluster there as well? But before that, guys, if you're new or if you're old to the stream, please I'll request everybody to please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream as well with your mates, with your friends. But moving towards team number 13, well, they have finally initiated the fights into their favor with those EMP45 in the backpack, moving very lethally. It's a 1v1 scenario, and there comes a drop shot and is moving for the another player, will able to take him down. This is the important question to watch out, but there comes a backstab with those EMP45 only. And team number 4, well, finally, they will get this fight into their favor with those 4 finishes point.
Indeed, the fights and the picks are coming are actually quite brutal right now. And if we talk about the regions of Picardo, well, of course, the fights are going to be there. If we talk about Team LGD Esports, they are also on the back foot right now. As you can see, the Revival is going to be there. Lynx is actually going to be there to just res out his teammate. 4 amazing frags are already delivered. So yeah, of course, LGD Esports did a beautiful job of actually securing the L as a region. Apart from that, now if we talk about the team which has been dominated, is actually going to be Team GPX. When it comes to Team BTR, well, they don't have the right kind of loot. Of course, they are going to loot it up once again so that they can bring back the glory of this particular team. If we talk about Team SMG, well, they are pretty much close to each other. Definitely a huge amount of ruckus is going to be there. If we talk about Team SMG, the guy is trying to just climb the rooftop, and if he is able to do so, well, definitely the damage is going to be there.
Well, of course, he is able to do so. Definitely, the damage will be a lot of there. But 15 teams, 60 remaining players are surviving, as we can see. And Picard is always the region to watch out. And we have almost seen 2 times this drop clash, this drop battle, as we can say. Team BTR, last time, if I remember, Team BTR has lost the fight. But this time, I'm pretty much sure that they'll regain their momentum, they'll regain their confidence. And as we can see, Team SMG, 2 players already has been eliminated. And I'm not surprised and I'm totally astonished to watch out. Will Team SMG come back? Will they be able to do that 2v4? This is a question for right now. But Jen Foster is barely surviving on those 5 HP. And talking about the teams, well, I'm pretty much sure that Team BTR will able to take SMG down.
Indeed, the picks are coming up, no doubt in that. Indeed, the people are just trying their level best to attain some good points. Team PTR is looking sharp for sure. The third knockout is about to be here anytime soon. As you all can see, a jump shot can easily be delivered. And there we go, the jump shot came in and a beautiful knockout once again gets delivered. Team PTR back again is actually declining Team SMG's kind of rampage. But moving up ahead, if I talk about Team SMG, the last man standing is going to be beautiful. He is actually on the back foot. Let's see what he can do. He's completely trying to fall back from this region. He can easily go ahead for the casino or he can easily go ahead for the L-shaped building. Let's see how he's going to retaliate with it because he's the lone ranger, he's the lone wolf. Definitely his survival is going to be quite questionable for the moment, but Beautiful tries to decline a lot of stuff. Zaxi can be the one who is easily going to spot him apart.
Well, of course, if you spot them, you can spot him apart. But Team SMG, well, last player standing, it's beautiful. The name is quite mesmerizing. The name is quite beautiful as justified. But let's see how it's the performance. How will the performance come out of this name? But keeping these things aside, 5 minutes within a snap is almost over. You have almost 3 to 4 minutes left out to complete your looting period, to complete your loot. And the more loot you have, the more utilities you have, the more better defense system, the more better attack system you have, the more eventually the more astonishingly you can tackle your enemies. But talking about Team PTR, they're still trying to acclimate the position. They're changing the position side by side, but I don't think what they're doing. Why they're doing in search of one player, they're wasting a lot of time. What do you think, Raider? Is it worth it for that one player, or they should move inside the center of the zone and get some more extra finishes point within a squad?
I believe they should actually find that guy because he can easily backstab them if they try to rotate. So that can be quite actually tough for them to retaliate with, because while when you actually try to face with a single player, that player can be very chaotic. He can easily knock you out and eventually finish you off. He won't even think for a second while finishing you because he don't have anything to lose and you have got everything to lose right now. You have got the manpower to lose, you have got the consistency to lose, you have got the motivation to actually survive to lose. So definitely it's going to be quite chaotic. But right now Team SMG is Beautiful is not actually getting founded. He is actually still trying his level best to escape from the grasp of Team PTRRA. Although Team PTRRA is also looking much more confident for now. They're just trying their level best to constantly add up on the fight.
Well, of course, they'll constantly try to add some more finishes point. They'll constantly try to add some more chaos to the fight. 15 teams, 57 players are surviving. 5 to 6 minutes is almost over. And the question is that how will they maintain the position? How will they maintain the momentum? But Team BTR, I think they're still moving. They're still trying to find the players. And the game of hide and seek, I think it has been started. The game of rat and cat, the game of rat and chase has been started. And teams will take a lot of time because finding the players, finding that solo player is almost covered up time. And now now you guys need to be moving forward inside the zone because it's also very much important. And there you go, Juxi. Well, finally he has got the vehicle, and there you go, Beautiful. This is not so good. You're moving in front of team BTR, as you are the last player standing, and I don't think it's going to be worth it. And there go, finally has been spotted. Finally he'll get spotted, finally he'll get eliminated, and Gen 4 star, he'll get those pick, and the elimination of team SMG, it will be totally confronted.
Indeed, indeed. The guy has been picked up, as you all can see, just like that. The whole team known as SMG is actually out of equation. So that's again a beautiful start, done and dusted, no doubt on that. The performance was pretty much on point, but finally the game is pretty much over for them. BTR managed to get the fourth frag, but now moving up when it comes to Nova TENCENT, we have got King, Frozen is there, Jimmy is there, and Order is there. So everybody is just trying to be in the zone as well. So definitely it's going to be quite tough for them to as well see. But EVOS REBORN, if I talk about that team, they have to go down quite early so that other one can actually incline. But if they fail to do so, if they are actually going to claim their victory in this one as well, that team is precisely going to be unbeatable.
Of course, there's a high probability chances that that team can be precisely unbeatable that he told. But talking about Team Nova, well, they are moving towards Picardo. Their intentions are quite clear, and I'm pretty much ready. I'm pretty much awaited to see this fight between Nova and Team BTR. It's going to be very much chaotic, very much tackling for both of the teams, and very much entertaining as well. But talking about Jimmy, I think the shots on his vehicle almost exploded his vehicle as well. But Jimmy having those EMP45 with those M416 in his hand, it's a great combination to watch out, creating those smoke paths onto the path onto the road. I think it's totally initiated, it's totally confronted that he's coming for a fight, but he's coming alone. Team Nova is not here, but there comes King. He's not here, but his sprays are here, and onto the end, Misery has been taken down. Juxi, Luxy, and Chen Foster are the last three players standing. Juxi will silently make an entry from behind. Team Nova players are almost here, and this fight is going to be very much difficult to watch out. And Jenster, there comes a 1v1 scenario. Jimmy in front of him, almost get damage of 50%, but there comes a spray from Jimmy, and Misery will be taken down. King onto the other end is coming with that drop shot. Jen Foster into looking in trouble. Talking about Order, having this grenade can make a lot of difference. And then comes a golden and grenade from Order. Jen Foster will finally be taken down. 29 bullets remaining in his hand. Team Nova will totally proving their worth in Picardo. One more drop shot. Luxy will be taken down within a snap. Team BTR will be getting eliminated, and Team Nova is totally on fire, playing phenomenally to watch out. 4 finishes point in the backpack, and they're conquering Picardo just phenomenally.
Well, indeed, the fights were absolutely on point, and you can already see the Picardo is actually being ruled by the team known as Nova TENCENT for now. BTR actually performed quite well in the first one, but eventually in the next fight, they actually got caught off guard. But now moving up ahead, Montenegro is another beautiful region where Team Kill Army is actually holding up, and YANGON GALACTOS is also coming up. Apart from that, we have one more team coming up in that region. So definitely a lot of let's say connectivity, a lot of fights is going to be there for sure. But let's see what will happen.
Of course, this is a question what will happen also, but talking about the Montenegro region, it's looking a very great region to watch out. Talking about team number 16, they are totally on the ground. I'm sorry. Talking about team number 18, they are totally down the ground, and team number 16, I think they're holding a great position to watch out, having a decent height advantage can give them a lot of better start. For now, they haven't secured any finishes point. It's boys seem as they are trying to create some grenade. They will try to create some more astonishing approaches. Almost 10 minutes is over, and the first phase of the match is almost concluded.
Well, indeed. The first circle is pretty much over. The second circle is about to go down really very soon. Apart from that, Team Game Lot, to be precise, is already losing one good member. Ego's Red Face is actually going to pop out one from Team Nova TENCENT. That's going to be Jimmy, who's pretty much knocked out for now. But if I talk about Wally and Hershey, these are the two good legends of this particular team known as MABETEX, trying to perform, trying to exceptionally gatekeep and gain some good points. Oh, Order gets in with a beautiful blow of his own. Just like that, managed to manipulate and gain a beautiful point that is known as EVOS. KF has been taken down. Order comes up with an domination of 3 amazing points. Jimmy, well, that guy has been taken down, and there we go. Microboy actually retaliates quite swiftly. Now it's Microboy is going to get spotted anytime soon. Yes, the headshots were connected, but definitely not enough to put down the particular guy known as Microboy.
Of course, it was not that easy to watch out. But talking about Team Nova, I think they are back in their flow. Will they get some more finishes point? They have lost Jimmy, but they haven't lost their confidence yet. This is the question to watch out. Talking about the other teams, M416 with that 4x, but onto the other end, Frozen is looking in trouble, and within a snap, he will also get eliminated. I think Team EVOS is just generating some another explode of tides, just generating some another power into this game, because getting those back-to-back finishes point, getting those back-to-back top 3 position double chicken dinner. I think I'm sorry, one double chicken dinner. That is totally phenomenal to watch out, because in the first game they have secured chicken dinner. In the second they have secured third position. In the third they have secured the third position. In the fourth match, I think Order is not ready to take that chicken dinner, to give that chicken dinner to EVOS, and finally he has taken that pick into his favor. King will move forward, and they are totally moving forward, and we can totally see the aggression, that one knock and one push from Team Nova.
Oh, indeed. The picks are still coming up. As you can see, we have got some more packs have been delivered. And there we go. Team Game Lord is already attacking. And they are actually getting connected quite a bit. Team EVOS, if we talk about that particular team, already losing to a good member of their particular team. They are soon to be actually getting diminished. But apart from that, we have got some nades coming up. And there we go. Lynx gets taken down from the backwood. The nades and the throwables are being very on point. Lynx manages to put one down from Team Game Lord as well. So, yeah, the connections are being very on point when it comes to Team Nova. Let's see how they're going to perform, because after losing two good members from their team, they are still being exceptionally well. Another nade goes in, and kaboom, the guy gets down with a beautiful nade. The impact was mesmerizing. But when it comes to Kaya, let's see how he's going to take over the fight, particularly because the mollies, the throwables, and the other picks are actually coming up, no doubt on that. The third zone is about to go down soon enough. Another nade has been developed, and there we go. The nade might be on point. If the nade actually goes in on the point location, then it can be very amazing to watch. And there we go. The nade goes in. Nobody gets connected with the nade, and nobody gets connected with the throwable, to be precise. So definitely, once again, the impact should be escalated. But there we go. Gets down. Another guy gets taken down with a beautiful nade, but King goes in for a funny one. Another nade comes in from Red Face's corner. Now Red Face have the 4 amazing kills, but they have lost one good guy from the team as well.
Well, I think they have lost a good guy. They have lost a good player as well. But talking about Nova, well, Nova has also been eliminated. But talking about the like target, guys, almost 800 people are watching. I'll request you to please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream as well. And talking about the like target, is almost about 500, and we are pretty much close to 500 like target. Talking about Team 16, well, they are looking very straightforward. They're looking very straight towards their fight, towards the aggression, towards the gameplay. Talking about Team YG, well, they are moving very slowly, where they are moving very partially awaited until any team is trying to initiate the fight. They are moving very slow, and there you go. Sando will take one more finish point into their favor, and there are multiple teams surrounding at those edges of the zone and domination. I think it's something wrong that's been displayed, but El Pozo, as we can say, is totally the Martial region. If we talk about Montenegro, it's the southern region. The zone is totally shifted towards those northwestern parts. It's looking very much difficult. It's looking very much challenging for the team. Almost 13 to 14 minutes are over. 12 teams, 40 remaining players are still surviving, and let's see how will the players and teams move forward, because it's only the third zone.
Well, indeed, the fights are still coming up. The picks are being demolished to be precise. But 12 teams, 40 players going on. Game Lord is going to be the team which is actually coming up in front of Team YANGON GALACTOS, and YANGON GALACTOS retaliated with the same intensity, and the favor has been deployed, as you can see. Another beautiful pick comes in. 12 teams, 39 players. They are still surviving. They are still retaliating. They are attacking with the same, let's say, kind of consistency in their favor. But moving up ahead, let's see what will happen in the last few circles. We have got the third circle coming up. Still 12 teams are surviving. 39 players are still living up to the charm. The last one is going to be in the map of Erangel, so definitely that can easily embark a new journey for a lot of teams. But all the teams which we wanted to see and wanted to showcase their strength are already pretty much out of equation. Be it Team BTR, be it Team Nova TENCENT, or teams like GPX or teams like SMGA. 4 good teams to be precise, are a little bit outside the particular play zone, and they're outside the particular game, to be precise. But Game Lord also gets connected and finally gets diminished, and just like that, Game Lord is not going to survive anymore. When it comes to BMW Esports, look at the beautiful ridges that these guys are holding.
Of course, they are holding a very much good, beautiful region. Talking about Team BMW, well, they're also having a great approach, great start from their side. 4 men standing with those 0 finishes point in their backpack. They have secured a top 11 teams, the top 38 live players. Talking about Team M4B, they are still 2 men standing, having a great position, great hold from their side. 15 to 16 minutes are almost over, and BMW is holding a great great position from their side. What do you think? Will Team MA be able to come inside the zone, come inside the area of BMW? Because BMW is looking in a great sense of position right now. Talking about Team YG, well, they are also outside of the zone, but targeting other teams. I don't know why, but almost they have secured 6 finishes point. They have secured a great start, a great progression there from their side, and moving towards the zone at those early phases will always help any team. And right now it help Team YG, because if they go earliest inside the zone, I think they can gatekeep, they can get some more finishes point, and there you go, the compound is totally vacant and they will get the compound.
Well, definitely the compounds are actually going to be quite crucial for them to loot up and eventually gain some good utilities as well. But Meanwhile, when it comes to teams like YANGON Galactos, 6 amazing kills is not going to be enough for them. They are pretty much hungry for more. And there we go. One guy is from Team DG, that was Trial 01, was spotted, but definitely not enough. Actually, spottation was done to take him apart to actually build the kind of aggression which we wanted to witness. But let's see what more can actually happen. How many more points can actually get built. LGD already receives a lot of shots. As you all can see, LGD is actually getting connected quite a bit. 11 teams, 37 players are surviving. Everybody is being very confident in terms of their gun game, in terms of their gameplay as well. Apart from that, that's a BNW's barrier. We have got Super TX, we have got Trial 01, Trial 2 is also in the back foot. If we talk about Team APG, they're also trying to move forward. Definitely a huge amount of, let's say, ruckus has been. Oh, what was that? What a beautiful knockout coming up. Okay, that was from Team DRS. That's interesting. I thought, how could he just trace down him from the Mini 14? And it was not possible. And that's what happened. Now, moving apart, EVOS, the last one standing of this particular team. The vehicle is already in flame. Survival is something which is going to be a little bit outside the play question. And there we go. He gets spotted. One good shot. And there we go. The shot gets connected. EVOS REBORN gets taken down in this particular matchup at hashtag 11, which is not a great spot to go out. And now only 5 points for them in this particular matchup. A total of 74 points, 77 points to be precise is going to be there for them. But apart from that, it's one team who have to get the winner in the chicken dinner. If they are able to get the winner in the chicken dinner, definitely will help them a lot in terms of the equalizer. But moving up ahead, as you all can see, the second frag is already on the way. I believe so. Okay, that was the first frag, so I think so that once again the aggression should be totaled up. Once again the fight should be totaled up from the corner. Hong is there, other guys like Shark is there, Haojan is actually going to be there, Chengfu gets taken down, Chengfu is actually coming back slowly but surely. Apart from that, one more guy can be spotted soon enough, but Hong on the other corner manages to retaliate. Let's see what eventually happens. Another nade goes in, the throwables are still being pinpoint. Well, there we go, this guy gets spotted. Team UTG International Pros are not being that pro at this moment. Another spray came in, and just like that, a retaliation is actually going to be there for sure. But the last man standing from team known as UTG International Pros is actually going to be in a small sneaky compound. Apart from that, when it comes to trial, well, these single tap shots are coming up, but the shots didn't got connected. So yeah, the connection is actually failing to go with. But the play zone impact was so mesmerizing that Shark and both Hong has been taken down. Now it all comes to Hong. Okay, that's interesting. He was trying his best to carry out the teammate, but eventually that didn't help him a lot. Hong also gets taken down. This is Team UTG taking the revenge of the fights.
Well, of course, if we talk about team number 8, well, they are also looking very much stronger. First 2 matches was not great for the team, but there comes a golden and great battles. Was an amazing grenade. 1 grenade, 2 players were down, and 2 finishes point are secured by team DRS. So they have secured total 6 finishes point in their favor. 9 teams, 22 remaining players. Almost 18 to 19 minutes are over, and let's see how the upcoming times will be tackled out. But 9 teams, 22 players. What do you think, Raider? How will the teams and players move forward? If you see at the timings, almost 19 minutes is over. And the players and teams now need to move inside the zone because you are just having 40 seconds left out. Outside play zone, APG Joseph Pro, well, I think he will get eliminated. And team APG is looking not very much good because he's the last player standing, Skynin. And within a snap, he will also get eliminated at hashtag 9th position. And almost if we talk about the finishers point of team APG, I think they have secured only 1 finishers point. Onto the another end, talking about team DRS, well, they are 4 men standing. They have got a good start. They have got a great start from their side. Team UTG, well, they will also get eliminated. 17, 18 players, 20 minutes is almost over, and let's see how will the teams and players move forward in such a zone. Currently, Team DRS is looking very subtle, very composed, very calm in the zone because they are 4 men. They have 4 men strong advantage. They have secured those 6 finishes point, and this is what you all need to get a great start and have a great ending.
Well, indeed, the start has been actually delivered, and as you can see, the aggression is looking quite mesmerizing. People from Team 1 Team Esports is not looking that great, but when it comes to Team MABETEX, they're also trying to incline some good points in the favor. But the team known as YANGON Galactos, apart from Team DRS and Team DG, are the only 3 teams which are having the 4-man power, and I believe this is more than enough to actually showcase the kind of strength. But BNW managed to put 1 down from Team DG Esports. I believe their manpower is already about to go down to dust, so definitely if that happens, it can be very mesmerizing to watch out. But look at the sprays being delivered, look at the damage being dealt in the lobby. 1 Esports, this guy particularly, the last man standing of this particular team, is trying to wreak a lot of havoc. He's trying to get a lot of bloodshed done and dusted, but right now he has to rotate, he has to be in the zone, and he's constantly trying his level best to just have a beautiful spot, a beautiful area to have the particular play zone in his favor. Apart from that, Team BMW Esports comes up with some good sprays, and yes, of course, they were able to retaliate, they were able to gain some good points in their favor as well. Well, again, a 1v1 comes in, and beautifully one more guy was taken down. Some more nades from Trials Corner are actually popping some hopes of the enemy as well. Let's see how this 1v1 is going to get contemplated. The last guy standing from Team DG manages to find the gap, and just like that, the team known as BMW Esports is not out of the equation. Apart from that, when it comes to Team DRS, well, now they are focusing on another beautiful team, which is known as Team One Team.
Of course, they'll surely try to focus as one team, but almost 5 teams, 12 players are still surviving. And within a snap, if I'm not wrong, it's a KE, kill enemy. Well, they'll get eliminated. But talking about Team DRS, well, they're still struggling to take out this fight. As we can see, Team YG is 3-man standing, Team DRS is 4-man standing. Having those man advantage can still cause you a trouble if you don't have those zone advantage. Let's see which team will get those early finishes point, which player will get those first accumulation in this fight. But right now, Team YG will fall back, get the area inside the zone, hold their compound, hold their positioning. But if we see the zone, only one player, only one team inside the zone, and if I'm not wrong, it's DRS Rulz.
Well, indeed, the picks, indeed, the fights, and indeed, the brutal damages are actually going to be quite mesmerizing to watch out. 5 teams, 11 players are still surviving. As you all can see, Team DRS is actually having a beautiful uphold of this particular fight. But when it comes to Team DG, they are also having a beautiful ridge in their favor. Some throwables, some nades are actually being exchanged between these two giants. And there we go, another throwable comes in. Trials can easily come up with some good sprays. And there we go, the sprays and the nades were being on point. Just like that, they were able to just totally rip them apart. Now, moving up ahead, they have to actually be in the zone. I don't think so it's going to be a possible enough task. 4 more bandits to go with. Another nade is actually getting cooked up. As you all can see, this nade could be quite mesmerizing, but he can easily be spotted. Well, there we go, the spottation was done in dust red. One team gets eliminated at #5. That means only 4 position points for them and 4 for the eliminations. Not a huge jump for them, but eventually they are crossing the 50 points marker. That's all we needed at that moment, and that's all they did.
Of course, this is all you what need to get the match, get the game. But talking about DRS, well, they're totally moving phenomenal. I think this game can be won by Team DRS. I think it's a guess, but I would like my audience, the 700 audience which are watching, I would like to guess them in the chat section. Please, guys, tell your guesses which team will win the game, because I'll give you options. It's a Team MAB, Team YG, Team DRS, and last but not the least is Team DG. So please show your support to these teams. But Rulz, that was a great spray. He took down one player. But MAB, Harshi, well, he's being that solo player. If I'm not wrong, no, he's not that solo player, but solo behind those trees. If Rulz gets spot, I think finally he'll get some more finishes point. But almost 24 minutes is over. Talking about the like target, guys, 500 is our target. We have almost reached 400, and please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream. But talking about the DRS Gyante, I think the name totally justify the players. Is well moving forward, well moving with those aggression. And if you look at Team DRS later, they're in the center of the zone. Right hand side it's Team MAB, left hand side is Team YG. And if both team attacks at a particular time, I think the sandwich scenario will develop out.
Well, definitely the sandwich situation is going to be there for sure, because anytime soon the fights are going to get developed. The picks are actually going to be there for sure, and this is what we are actually expecting right now. The fight and the nade and the throwable is actually getting built, and there we go. Killer Whitey's nade manages to take out one good guy. Okay, that was Team MABETEX who was able to take one beautiful knockout with a beautiful nade, and that's interesting. Now DG becoming the last one standing. That was Trials, but the nade got connected. Team MABETEX just overturned all the spirits. 3 teams are surviving. DRS being the team with the highest manpower is actually trying to cross over on Team MABETEX as well as Team YANGON Galactos. YANGON Galactos being outside the particular play zone, it won't help them a lot, but definitely they are trying to go with it. Another nade goes in. Hershey might be getting connected, and yeah, Hershey gets connected with that on-point nade of Delta, and with that, Team MABETEX's journey is also at a loss. But now, if we talk about Team DRS, this could be the match where they're for sure going to get the winner chicken dinner, because they are very, very wild in terms of their stance. They are very, very wild. They are very, very aggressive in terms of their stance that they are trying to build, that they are trying to showcase, is something which is going to be quite crucial to watch out. But then again, shots, the needs, the throwables are something which is going to be quite optimum to watch out. But there we go. Sahu also gets connected. Sahu also is actually trying his level best to attain some good points in his favor. So yeah, the shots are still coming up for sure. As you all can see, the shots are being developed. But Sando finally gets taken now. That means Team YANGON Galactos now have to repass themselves and be in the zone, which won't even be, let's say, a very helpful task for them.
Well, from my side, I think it's totally clear that Team DRS is winning this match, because if we talk about team number 18, they are totally outside of the zone, and each and every player is taken down one by one. And if Team YG needs to get inside the zone, it's the only one thing needs to be done, that you need to get some more finishes point, but it's not going to be happen. And here comes the winner chicken dinner of the fourth match of the day, which is of Miramar and Team DRS Esports. Well, they will phenomenally won this match with maximum number of finishes point, and this is what we call a comeback. In the first three matches, they haven't performed that well, but in the final match, I wouldn't say final, but in the second final match, they played phenomenally and they proved that consistency is very much important, and they show the consistency.
Well, indeed, the consistency was showcased, and eventually, if we talk about teams like, let's say, LGD Sports or some other teams, they also tried their level best to attain some good points, but eventually they failed to do so. We had quite a few teams like Nova Tencent also tried to retaliate. When it comes to the highlights, we can already see how DRS actually wounded up getting the winner chicken dinner. But before that, it was a battle between GPX and LGD, where LGD actually performed quite exceptionally well and eventually attained a beautiful amount of prize in the favor. But when it came to the battle between Team battle between Team BTRRA and Team SMG, where Beautiful was the last one standing, he tried to actually rotate, he tried to actually be in the different vicinity, but he got spotted, and just like that, some good sprays were able to just eliminate him out of the equation.
Well, of course, this was the great fight from where we started, but the team BTR was not looking so great at those early phases. But talking about the opponents, well, they were totally mesmerizing to watch out. They were totally trying to get some more finishes point with the grenades from Team Nova. I think that totally changed the game, and very phenomenally Team Nova won this fight, as we can see in the highlights as well. But Order, well, Nova was totally unstoppable for a while, but between the fights, between the games, some point of the time came when Nova felt like unconfident or felt like overconfident. They lost their players one by one, and similarly they lost the game as well.
Indeed, that's right. They level best from the start. Eventually, a last nade came in and King was bursted out just like that by Red Face. But apart from that, when it came to YANGON Galactors, their guys were taken down quite swiftly. Their damages were actually there for sure. If we talk about Red Face, look at that beautiful spray being delivered from Lynx as well. And the last man standing from Team EVOS were taken down by this particular guy who's known as Lynx. Look at that beautiful mini 14 that he was anticipating. And at the last moment, his shot got connected. And just like that, Team EVOS would have been, let's say, surviving. But eventually, they were picked up. When it came to One Esports, they were actually trying to retaliate with Team UTG International Pros, and they were pretty much successful in it. But when it came to the last man standing, that last guy from Team UTG turned the tides quite a bit.
Well, of course, this last guy totally turned the tides, as you said earlier. But in one team, I was expecting the same consistent performance from them as well. We talk about this team. Well, the team OG performed very much nicely to try to initiate some early phases fights, some mid-range fights as well. But one team, I think they also got some more finishes point. They also initiate the fights very much fluently. But Team B and W, well, they were a little bit difficult. They made the game a little bit difficult for other teams as well. They also were difficult. There were points when they lost the match. There were points when they were lost the control on the game. But talking about Team DRS, they were totally throughout the match. They were totally consistent to watch out. And with these grenades, with these throwables on point, I think they totally got the game.
Indeed. The picks were absolutely mesmerizing. The fights were absolutely on point, no doubt on that. But the highlights actually showcased a lot of strength. But now moving ahead, when it comes to the team which actually got the winner chicken, that was Team GRS. The rank is going to be 3 in the overall standing. Total number of eliminations were 11. Total points were absolutely 26. And the last match is actually going to be in the map of Sanhok. It's a small little update for you guys, and it's a small little trump card for these 16 teams which are going to fight.
Of course, as we know that Sanhok is just a great map, but before discussing about the maps, we'll try to take you over the statistics. Most valuable player is DRS Rals OG. He has secured 4 elimination with a damage of 685, contribution of 36.36%, 181 longest elimination distance, and a MVP points of 4.38 in his favor and for his team as well. But this fourth match almost was mesmerizing for Team DRS as well, because the comeback, which was much needed, this finally came here as well. But talking about the overall match summary, match statistics, and other progressive results as well. But before that, guys, we'll move forward to there as well. But before that, you like the stream, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and show your support very progressively. Our like target will be just off 500 likes, so please do hit that like button, subscribe the channel.
Well, indeed, guys, go for it and eventually subscribe the channel as well, so that we can provide you with the best of the best content. But we'll talk about all of those stuff. But before that, we have got the overall statistics pro scrims. And if we talk about the D number 1, match number 4 to be precise, which we just right now witnessed, well, the total eliminations were 58. Total healings were 6,681. When it comes to the total knockouts, it was 69. Throwables being used were 145. One airdrop was looted and 11 headshots were appointed. Meanwhile, 25 players were rescued. But if I talk about the longest elimination in this particular matchup, well, it was coming from Team DG Esports. The guy was Flyboy with a total elimination of with the longest elimination of 379 meters in his favor.
Well, of course, the longest elimination was of 379 meter and was secured by DGX Flyboy, which was very nice to fond of. As we all know, in Miramar, the longest elimination would be of more than 300 or 350, which is very much normal to a bot out. But total elimination was of 58. Moving towards match summary. Well, DGX Flyboy has secured 4 finishes point. Highest damage was of 859. DRS Rals OG has secured 2 highest assist. Highest knocks was secured by NV Order was 4 and 379 meter. Logging and distance were covered by DG Flyboy, and this will be the statistics of the whole match. And as we can see, the hashtag 2 players name slightly downwards as well, but guys, 460 likes is almost done. Our like target is of that 500 like target. Moving towards the match ranking, 26 points are secured by DRS Gaming. They have secured the first position. Second position secured by YANGON. GALACTOS, 18 points has been secured by this team. DG Esports, 13 points. Third position MABETEX Esports, 12 points. Fourth position one team, 10 points. Fifth position BNW, 7 points. Sixth position and 7 points. Seventh position secured by LGD Esports, and same continues throughout the points table with some 5-4-3-2 and 0-0 by SNG and GPX as well, respectively. But keeping these things aside, what do you think? Last match of Sanok, what will be the circumstances and elimination and damage? Well, we talk about Team GRX. They have secured 11 finishers point, 11 elimination, and with a damage of 2068.
Well, indeed, a beautiful job done and dusted, no doubt in that. But moving ahead, when it comes to the kind of, let's say, performance, I believe Team GPX, SMG, and teams like APG and even GameLord is actually at the back foot right now. But when it comes to the MVP rankings, well, there we go. EVO's Red Face is going to be on top with 15 amazing eliminations.
Well, of course, 15 amazing elimination is secured by Team EVOS. And if we talk about Micro Boy, 10 elimination. EVOS XSF, 8 elimination. And YG, if we talk about one, Cheng Fu, he has also secured 9 elimination. APG, 7 elimination. And this was the elimination stats and MVP rankings of the players, which are on the top 10 list. And like this, we'll like to conclude. But before that, if we see some more match statistics, it will be more better. But moving towards the overall ranking, there comes some more statistics. EVOS REBORN, 77 overall points. One team, 54 overall points. DRS Gaming, 44 total points. And this will be the top 3 teams. The main competition MAB Esports, 42 points. YANGON GALACTOS, 39 points. DG Esports, 31 points. APG PUBGM, 29, and LGD Esports will be at 28 points in 8th position.
Well, indeed, the performance was absolutely on point. But when it comes to Nova, TENCENT, well, they are still residing at hashtag 9. BMW Esports and UTG International Pro actually climbed a little bit. GameLord is going down to the dust with 18 points. Kill Enemy have 16 of their own. GPX with 16 as well. SMG with only 12 points and Bigetron RA. That's a very sad sight to watch that they are actually at the bottom of this particular list with only 11 points.
Of course, they are at the bottom of the list with only 11 points and the lowest score in overall ranking as well. They need to work very hard. But moving towards keeping these things aside, moving towards the last match of the day, which will have Sanok, which is full of those chaos, full of those cluster, full of those bushes, and full of those stones. It will be very difficult for the teams and very much challenging and full of comebacks as well. We'll take a short break. We'll meet after a short break. Till then, keep hitting that like button, subscribing the channel, and stay tuned.
Welcome back, guys. Once again, we are back with a short and sneaky break, and we are going to witness the map of Sanhok once again. It's going to be quite chaotic because today we witnessed two good matches of Anangle, two good matches of Miramar as well. But right now, it's a trump card. It's a different type of arena going to be here for us, and let's see how this arena is going to forecast and how the fights are going to be there. My name is Rita.
Chaotic to watch out, starting from those southern parts of the region and ending towards those northern parts of the region. It's gonna be very much difficult, very much challenging for the team as well. Talking about Painan regions, boot camp, Pochinki, boot camp, Paradise Resort. These are the very much exotic region to watch out. Very much drop clashes can be seen here as well. But some major drop clashes, if we talk about Paradise Resort and boot camp, is totally synchronized. SGMB member finally has been taken at the first blood of the match, as we can see. But Painan is almost looking very much clusterized by those 2-3 teams. And as we can see, the kill feed is non-stoppable, moving very much fast.
Well, this is the last match for the day, and eventually people are just trying to be like that, and eventually being very aggressive is going to be the goal for them. As you all can see, Team SGM is already losing one good member, but I have already gained one frag in their favor as well. Apart from that, some more shots are actually coming up. As you all can see, fortunately, the team is being a very chaotic. I believe Team Bigetron RA is still surviving right now, and if we talk about Team SGM, the last man standing is going to be in the back end areas of these barn houses, or should I say the warehouses to be precise. But let's see how it's going to enact with it. UTG International Pro, apart from that, has been taken down. That's a really very sad sight to watch. But right now, if I talk about Big Feet, he's the only guy which is still surviving from the team known as SMG to be precise. But 14 teams, 50 players, and now the target of Team BTR is going to be Team YANGON Galactos, I believe, and there we go. The target is pretty much being fulfilled. As you all can see, one good member of the particular team have already been taken down. Otherwise, when it comes to Pick Feet, he's also trying to push forward, constantly jumping in the air, constantly trying to punch the air so that he can eventually neglect his position steps. But Breadface gets taken down. Zaxi on the other corner goes in for some good shots. Oh, he gets connected. He gets it done and dusted. Apart from that, Zaxi is already receiving some good shots. You can already see some deep shots are about to be here. Anytime soon, these point system are actually going to get convoluted. Zaxi and Zaxi, two good guys, and you already know these are the TDM champs. These are one of those guys who have got this energy in their favor. But let's see how they're going to convert it in this particular fight up in this favor, because now Zaxi moves in. A nade has been cooked up. Another knockout, another finish is for sure going to be there, to be precise. But the nades are actually pretty much on point, and there we go. The damage was absolutely amazing, but still not enough to put them apart. But another 1v1 came in. Oh, a beautiful drop shot was about to be there from Zaxi's corner, Luxie's corner to be precise, but the drop shot didn't make it out. Apart from that, Pickfeet is going to collect his another fight, another frag. The domination coming from Team SMG's Pickfeet is absolutely on point. Going to repass, going to actually come up with some good sprays, but finally that's Team BTR who is going to rise back.
Of course, BTR will totally rise back, and 13 teams of 41 players, as we can see here, and bootcamp is totally being clusterized now, moving towards a particular region. But talking about the timings, well, 3 to 3.5 minutes is almost over, and let's see after this time how will the players perform out. But for now, as we can see, BTR players are not looking so good because they have lost 3 players. On the last player, Joxy is surviving with that Vector and AKM as the weapon. But let's see how will he were able to move forward, because Sanhok is full of those chaos, full of those surprises, and full of those sudden momentous.
Well, let's figure out what will happen in the battle between Nova, TENCENT, and the other teams which are in front of us right now. As you can see, it's a tussle between two good teams. That's MABETEX and Team Nova REBORN as well. Apart from that, we have got some more fights coming up from Team GameLord and Team BMW. Both of them are trying to be very chaotic. Bigetron RA meanwhile gets eliminated at hashtag 12, which is not a great sight to watch. But finally, moving apart, if I talk about Team LGD Esports as well, there we go. LGD is also popping some souls. Well, 11 points is actually what we might actually expect from the team known as Nova REBORN, but right now they are in the 11 stats and they're already getting diminished for the moment. You can already see 2 good members are about to go down. King is knocked out pretty much. His revival is going to be there or not. That is going to be something like a big question coming up. But LGD Esports is trying to wreak a lot of havoc on Team MABETEX, and the damage which they are trying to implicate is absolutely mesmerizing.
Talking about team number 13, well, they are looking very much great. Having those info situation in their hand can cause a lot of trouble, and there comes a phenomenal spray from his side, getting some more finishes point. I think it's going to be totally worth it. Switching to UMP 45, and the combination of info situation is very much great, but it's moving very much slow, very much patiently with those plans, with those plottings, and executing his plans very much quietly. But talking about the other teams, well, MAB Esports will get eliminated within a snap very much fastly. Talking about Team Nova, well, Jimmy is that last player standing, having the TMP 45 minutes, and will he able to clutch it out? This is the question, but I don't think so. It will be possible. that recently Nova Tencent will get eliminated at those ninth position in this match. And almost 5 to 6 minutes are over and match is totally moving on very very fast pace.
Well, this is how the battle actually gets formed. 7 teams and only 20. I believe. Wow, I believe a lot of teams have actually been shattered. As you can see, only 7 teams and 22 players are surviving in the battle. A lot of picks are already coming up, but let's see how these picks are going to get vitalized. How many points these guys are actually going to get built. Yangon Galactus, meanwhile, also gets taken down. That
Can totally see the fast phase of the match. It's almost 6 to 7 minutes and more than 6 to 7 teams. So if I remember, more than teams have been eliminated. Only 5 teams are being alive in this lobby, and this is going to be very much different for each and every team. Talking about team number 15. Well, they are 4 men standing, have secured 7 finishes point. Team number 5, they are still waiting, and this fight is going to be very much deciding in bootcamp. There comes a phenomenal pick, 1v1 scenario, putting a player aside. MP45 comes at a job shot, and finally GL will take that pick, but it's Nuha. It's if I'm not wrong, it's Xwan. He'll take that pick. He'll give a instant support cover fire. Let's see how does the fight of bootcamp will endlessly end.
Well, Game Lord, they are actually in a tussle right now. The last man standing is going to be Victor, pretty much getting exposed. And there we go. Victor gets exposed, goes in for the sprays, but fails to connect a lot of damage. But right now, moving apart, the last man standing from this particular team wants to attack. But eventually, Cheng Fu manages to take him apart. And just like that, only 4 teams are surviving. LGD moves in. LGD is about to cross over and eventually take some good fight between LGD and I believe Team 1 Esports. One team, to be precise, can actually happen for now. So let's see what will happen and how many points they are actually easily going to burn up is going to be something like a big question for me. But I believe 1 Esports, if they get the winner chicken dinner, well, definitely they are easily going to climb a lot, and I believe they can easily be at that position where they can easily dethrone teams like EVOS REBORN, because EVOS REBORN, they went out quite early. They have actually a total of 80 points in their favor, and right now if we convert the overall standing and check out the standings of one team, they have got 72 points in their favor. So 8 more points to gain, and after that they can easily dethrone the team known as EVOS REBORN.
Of course, totally dethroned the first position as well. But talking about the teams, it's totally unusual and it's totally unexpectable. 4 teams, 15 players are surviving. Can you believe the game is moving just on a fast phase, and this can create a lot of trouble, lot of differences this match as well. 3 finishes point has been already secured, and I don't think the more fights, the more chaos will remain this match, because teams will now move very slowly. There's no level of competition left out. I think so.
Well, the competition is something which is going to be quite critical for sure. Indeed, the picks are going to be quite rapid. But moving up ahead, let's see what happens. Eventually, a nade is actually going down. LGD Esports might actually receive the same taste, and yeah, that's what is actually happening. LGD Esports is already receiving the same taste that actually was there for team known as UTG, if I'm not wrong. That was Team Underground team Game Lord Triple Preserved. Yeah, that's what the team was. But moving up ahead, the last man standing is going to be LGD's Haven. He's the only ray of sunshine for the team. I don't think so it's going to be an easy enough task for them, but the shots are about to be there for sure. The shots are coming up. The nomination from 1 Esports, Cheng Fu, is already coming up. But Delta, this guy is actually finding the gap. This guy is trying to do it, and eventually when it catches up to the fight, that can be quite critical. But a need is about to be there. As you all can see, throwables and needs are already been cooked up. Let's see how much more of a damage this guy can actually wield. Yes, of course, Shark gets the splash damage. Not enough to actually put him apart, but meanwhile, if we talk about the Molotov cocktails, well, they are there. Shark is about to actually cook up a beautiful nade, and that nade could actually easily ignite a lot of spirit. 12 amazing kills is already there for them. DRS Rule Soldier is handling the center compounds. The third one is actually about to be here anytime soon, but 1 Esports, well, they are trying to be as far as away from the fight they can actually be, so that they can cook up a beautiful nade, so that they can impact the fight, to be precise. But DRS Rule Soldier gets gets the third one. And well, if I talk about Delta, he didn't receive the nade, didn't actually got the damage from the nade, but Delta's position has been pretty much exposed. Moving up ahead when it comes to, let's say, areas like, let's say, this particular one. Well, Killer Whitey goes in for a 1v1. Oh, that was a beautiful testable. Both of them were in a jump shot type of fight coming up. Both of them bring a broad frag their particular guns, and eventually the damage that is coming from Killer Whitey, that is absolutely... Oh! What was that? A beautiful 1v3 coming from Killer Whitey's corner. This is unmatchable. This is unmatchable for now. The last man standing coming up is going to be, I believe, Hawan, and he's the only ray of hope. Well, drop shot. Oh, the favors are getting returned. Look at that. Favors are being returned for now, and the last one standing from Team LGD is also about to be in a table topper fight, and there we go. The fight goes in. Rules for the managed to survive. DRS is actually getting the fight in their favor, but one esports finally taken down from Team GPX. That's interesting to go with. But now, when it comes to one esports, a total of, let's say, 79 points they had in their favor. Just 1 or 2 points more to go, so that they could have been the winner of this particular process.
That's only for that 1v3 scenario. The last player standing, DRS will also be really able to take him down. I don't think this is that possible. Team DRS will lose this fight, and Chicken Dinner will be secured by the team. But this was the last match and a phenomenal match. But keeping these things aside, we'll totally move forward to the most valuable players and many more statistics. But if you talk about the watching, guys, the watching is totally phenomenal. I'll request each and everyone to please to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream as well, and show your support. But the last match, I think the fast pace of the match is totally phenomenal. The match totally ended almost around 12 to 13 minutes, which was totally unexpected to watch out. But let's see who will be the MVP and what are the overall statistics.
I mean, those stuffs as well, but before that, let's see how GPX actually got that beautiful winner chicken. It all started in the areas like let's say bootcamp and stuff like that, where Hathian was actually in the cover and Painan was also there with the fights coming up. So this is how the retaliation goes on. Saxi was able to actually do a beautiful 1v1, but after that, what happens? The last guy from Team SMG came in and just like that clutched that particular fight. But Big Feet was the another guy. The DB shot was definitely there, but not enough to actually put them apart. When it came to Nova REBORN, Nova TENCENT to be precise, they also retaliated with the same intensity, but eventually they were picked up. The last man standing from the particular squad was Jimmy, and he was the only ray of hope for the fight, and he was able to actually deliver the fight, particularly in his favor. But eventually, when it came to LGD Esports, the fight was absolutely in their favor.
Well, of course, the fight was totally, absolutely into their favor, and they performed really, very, very nice. But talking about the team number 9, I think almost 6 to 7 teams got eliminated in boot camp. And talking about team number 4, also they hold a better position. They were having a great approach. They're having a great start. But talking about team DRS, I think they played totally phenomenal. Securing second finisher's point, losing their players one by one, that was not important. But this clutch of Killer Whitey, I think that was totally immensible to watch out. This was totally great. Killer Whitey also got some more finishers point there as well. But winner chicken dinner is secured by Team GPX. 7th rank in overall standings. 6th elimination has been secured by the team. 21 total points and a damage of 618 was also given.
Indeed, a beautiful fight was actually done and dusted, no doubt in that. Although Team GPX was not that chaotic as compared to Team 1 Esports or some other teams like DRS. But then again, the winner chicken went in their hand. Well, 1 Esports, one team to be precise, is the one who is going to build the MVP of this particular match. So that is Hong with 4 eliminations and a damage of 810. And if we talk about the MVP points, that is going to be 5.88%. And when it comes to the team contribution, that was 26.67%. And the longest elimination that this guy actually caused were only 20 meters. That means he was in a very close combat like situation, and when you are fighting in the boot camp, definitely that's what is going to happen.
Of course, this was the most valuable player, One Hong from one team. He played very much phenomenally with the MVP points of 5.88 and overall elimination of 4 into his side, and contributed for the team at 26.67%. But keeping these things aside, we'll move towards the match standings and the graph of elimination versus damage. But overall statistics, 57 total eliminations were done. Tribals used were 38. Total 12 rescues were done. If we talk about the airdrops, 0 airdrops were there. 194 meter longest distance elimination was done by GPX and 5 headshot, 55 total knocks, and a total healing of 1858 was done, which is very, very much low as compared to any match. And in Sanhok, we barely see a damage of healing of 1858 because Sanhok is all about those heal battle. We see a maximum healing in this match.
Indeed, indeed. The job was done and dusted, and it was quite a beautiful one, no doubt in that. But moving up ahead, when it comes to the carnage, I guess GPX's guys was absolutely on point in that particular perspective as well. When it comes to the knockouts and stuff like that, those situations were also quite chaotic. Moving up ahead, let's talk about the match summary. As you can see, after the fifth match, after the last match for the day, we have got the guy known as One Hong being the highest eliminator. The highest damage is also from that particular guy's corner. Cheng Fu was the guy with the highest assist. When it comes to the highest amount of knockout, it was Huang Zhon, and when it comes to the highest elimination, that was from GPX.
Of course, the highest, longest elimination was confirmed from by GPX. And this will be the match summary of the teams of this particular match of day one, match 5. But if we talk about the most important thing, one team, if you see, is totally dominating the match summary. Hong, Sheng Fu, and it's Hugh Axon. Well, these are the 4 players as we can see in front of our screen with those assists, with those elimination, with those knocks, with those damage. They're totally dominating. But talking about the match rankings, well, 25 overall points is secured by one team. Second position, despite of getting chickened in, team GPX is on second position with 21 points and 15 points of elimination, is totally mesmerizing by one team. DRS Gaming third position with 16 points. LGT Esports 11 points of fourth position. Game Lord 8 points with those fifth position. BNW 6 points with those sixth position, and YANGON 5 points at those seventh position. And similarly, Nova TENCENT 5 points, eighth position. Similarly, the same pattern will be repeat of 5, 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1 by the other teams as well. But this will be the match ranking. And before moving to the overall ranking, guys, I'll request you all to please do hit that like, subscribe, share button, because your support is very much required for the upcoming event, upcoming matches, and upcoming scrims as well.
Indeed, indeed, your support is much needed. If you guys are going to support us, we are going to bring back this kind of glorious scrims and many more tournaments that you actually guys expect. But one team with a total 25 points of a bomber was absolutely on point, no doubt in that. But they were just 1 or 2 points behind the team known as, I believe, EVOS REBORN, which is still being on top right now in the leaderboard, I believe. So yeah, let's check out that as well. But before that, we are going to get the eliminations and damage page. As we can see that 15 eliminations were delivered from one team Esports, and eventually when it comes to the damage, that was 2192. GPX with 6 kills, DRS with 4 of their own, and LGD with 3 kills as well. LGLD, that means Game Lord, is actually having with only 2 frags, BNW with 2 frags as well, YG with 3 frags, APG with 4 of their own, NV with 4, SMG with 4, EVOS with 3, MAB to be precise, that was MABETEX which had 3 frags as well. But now when it comes to the head-to-head, we are going to be in a battle between EVOS Red Phase and once Cheng Fu, and the damage dealt is absolutely high when it comes to Red Phase. Eliminations are much higher, throwables are much higher. That means totally the guy known as Red Phase crushed the hopes of Cheng Fu as well.
Of course, this game was totally phenomenal to watch out. If we talk about the MVP rankings, well, in MVP rankings, 16 elimination is secured by Team Evo, and it's Evo Red Face, 1 Cheng Fu, 12 finish point, Hue Exxon, 9 finish point, 1 Hong, 10 of elimination, and Evo XSF 9 elimination. This will be the top 5 MVP rankings of post match 5 of Pro Scrims.
Yeah, indeed. But when it comes to the head-to-head between the teams, it was EVO's Reborn with only one, let's say, chicken dinner coming from one team. And when it comes to the EVO's Reborn, they had 2 chicken dinners. Highest elimination is also in their favor when it comes to the average amount of damage. When once again EVO's Reborn was on top with that particular perspective. When it comes to the average survival time, I believe the survival time for one team was absolutely on point with 19. 0.05, but when it comes to the headshot, he was Reborn once again take the toll in the favor. But once we talk about the overall ranking, he was Reborn, the team which is on top, is actually being on top with 80 amazing points in their favor. After 5 good matches, after 2 good winner chicken dinners, this team is still being on top. One team desperately climbed a lot with this last match. They had 79 points, just 2 more points to go. After that, they would have just jumped in the first place. But eventually, this is how the battle formed.
Of course, eventually this is how the battle formed. But if we talk about only of just because of 1 point, I think they lost the first point, first throne. DRS Gaming third, MAB Esports fourth with 45. Yangon Galcot 44 points, fifth position. LGD was 39, 6th position. GPX 37, 7th position. APG PUBGM 34, 8th position. This will be the overall standings of first page. Talking about the second page, DG Esports 32, 10th Nova 10 to 27, 11th Game Lord 26. BNW 12th position, 26 points. UTN Intel Pro 21 points, 13 position. Similarly, other teams will manage out, but Bigetron RA well 14 points only and 16th position, which is which is totally unexpected. I was not expecting this team at this position at these points. But let's see how they perform in upcoming days and upcoming matches.
Indeed. The fights were absolutely on point, but eventually this is how the leaderboard is going to get convoluted. Bigetron RA is the team which is at the bottom right now, but I believe this was just the scrim. They were trying some new things, and eventually teams like those are going to bounce back once the official tournament comes in, and eventually the next battles from Frontline are already going to be on point for these guys as well. So we are hoping a lot from these guys particularly, but moving up ahead, this is going to be the end for the day. We had 5 amazing matches. The schedule was as per this. We had Erangel, then Miramar came in, then again Erangel was there, after that Miramar, and the last match, it was a table turner for us as well because the map was Sanhok, pretty much different from what we were expecting. But then again, this is what we are going to go with. And in the leaderboard, we had team known as EVOS REBORN being on top, one team leading the chart as well, being the runner-up with 79 points as well in their favor. But moving up ahead, guys, this is the end. My name is Reda. It was Eagle on the desk with me, and we are going to take a toll, and we'll be back again with the next scrims.